Nothing I got to prove, nothing I got to lose. I will not follow you. It is my time to choose. Nothing I got to prove, nothing I got to lose. I will not follow you. It is my time to choose. It is my time to move. I will not follow through, cause I got my own mind, winning on my own time. Didn't come when I want it, but it's always on time. I'ma go and get it, and it's all put in my vision. Then I'ma show everyone I can make it. I'm different. You can stop what you can't see. No more chains, yeah, I'm truly free. I pay my dues, it ain't come cheap. No more chains on me, you can't hold me down. 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 Yeah, no more, no more, no more. 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 You can't hold me. Look at where I came from. I can never fall back to the same ones. Only good vibes now, but the hard times is what we raised from. Turn to the ambition we are made from. We don't run, we don't fall, we don't stop, we don't fail. We take all our doubts, the dark clouds, and we still prevail. Raise a fist to the sky, a solution still. And we stand for the dream.
Gaming Morning Show.
Ah, the sounds of morning.
Early in the morning,
Birds singing.
gotta feed the donkey.
The sun peeking
When
above the
you
horizon.
feed the donkey,
The gentle nudge from your morning alarm clock.
this is what he says.
A subtle reminder that today is a new day. A new day for you to watch Gaming Morning Show. The show where you'll find science lessons.
Says when I bake bread, I give thousands of yeast organisms false hope by feeding them sugar before ruthlessly cooking them to death in an oven and eating their corpses. Wow.
I thought you
think
were
about bread a whole new way.
I thought you were about to say orgasms for a second there. Did either of you ever have that happen when you were in like biology class and you're reading?
Have
the
an
text?
orgasm? I've never orgasmed during
The biology text doesn't do that for you. It's like,
No.
oh yeah.
Great deals.
computers and accessories
Wait,
special bundle.
Mike, they got the super.
What is-
They got the super chroma color in. Did you know they had that? You
I know.
overpaid for your computer.
By a lot. I wonder if, do you think they price match?
They might. Well, this is half off.
Can you take a screenshot of this and try to get a store price match?
And linguistic perfection.
Is that like when I roll my R's?
Do it again.
Romance.
Great.
Romance. See, everyone. It's not a hiss.
So let me hear your battle cry.
Kiki. Oh.
Kiki what?
As we all charge into Gaming Morning Show.
More like Kiki. Whoa, am I right?
Now, if only I could find a way out of this box. I'll catch up. Because GMS starts right now.
Morning, gamer. Gaming Morning Show is with you. It is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. We are appreciative that you are here with us on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at GamingMorningShow.tv. That is Look, it's Mike O. That is Sean. I am Ryan. Thanks for being with us for 3 hours this morning up until 9 o'clock Pacific time. And then sometime in the UK, because nobody understands time zones anymore. It's just everything that we thought we once knew was just a big lie, and at some point we'll all be on some time zone that we all can figure out, because I'm frustrated. I'm confused. Don't get it. Just don't get it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have Jess Chow coming up, owner of Chindian Boutique, or a Chindian Boutique, which I think is a very prevalent conversation to have today, because the whole reason we were having Jess on was to talk about the boutique. Friend of the show through our host Theo, who will be here in the second hour with Mike and myself. Sean, I don't have you till 8 o'clock or anything like cool or special or wonderful, right?
I have to go to work.
Oh, We're gonna miss you.
That was a letdown. All
Okay.
that build up.
Right. Well, it was kind of a question,
Phantom power is important for microphones.
Oh man, all
usually.
the times that I forgot
Those crazy
old phantom
phantoms.
power. We got to get them all warmed. What the heck was that?
That was my PlayStation. Why is it not going
Oh
through?
my gosh, everything's falling apart in Studio B.
The
What is
Phantom,
happening?
the Phantom is
Phantom
is
power
coming to
from
life.
the PlayStation isn't turned on.
Phantom of the studio is there.
Can I just say that I'm very excited to have Jess on today.
Let me
Very,
finish
very
that
excited.
thought because I couldn't remember exactly where we were at with the hosting lineup here. But we're gonna have Jess on. Theo's gonna host with us in the final 2 hours. Friend of the show, if you will. And Chindian Boutique, for the month of March, is donating all proceeds to non-governmental organizations that are helping Asian American communities. And a big reason for that is because of much of the Asian Asian hate that is happening. In fact, so much so that when I woke up this morning to try to plan the show, right below St. Patrick's Day, which is our topic of the day, is hashtag Stop Asian Hate, and that's partially because of a shooting yesterday in the Atlanta area.
Multiple.
So, yeah. So
I was actually contemplating putting that on the rundown, but
Oh no, please.
think-
You should.
that might be something to address, even outside of just the rundown, because it was pretty terrible. Was it three massage parlors were attacked last night, and 8 people were murdered, 6 of which were of Asian American descent, and it was the same guy. I mean, it's pretty obvious it was a hate crime, and that's just very, very frustrating. Especially, I mean, honestly, on a day like today, on St. Patrick's Day, where we celebrate a heritage and we celebrate something that brings. I mean, we're all Irish today, except for Ryan, who is wearing black and red. But I mean, that's fine. He's on Valentine's Day, so we're good. Next Easter, he'll be on St. Patrick's Day. But for now, it's really, really important that we just realize that, I mean, we're all human beings, and it's awful to judge anyone based on anything other than their character. So I saw that news this morning, and I was pretty upset by it. And I talked about it with my daughter on the way to when I was taking her to school, and said, hey, because she was talking about the Make America Great Again thing, and I said, America's really never been great unless you're a white person. So it's really important to remember. I mean, we're all the same. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you call home, where your ancestors are from. We're all the same. So,
Thanks, Mike. I mean that. It's well said. We will talk more about that coming up in the 7:25 hour, and if you want to, and I definitely think it's a good idea, you're more than welcome to add more details of that story into the rundown so we can talk about it over the course of the show. The show is designed to be an entertainment vehicle, and back in the day when I worked in the radio stations, it was always discussed in the vein of, hey, we got to stay away from serious things on entertainment-based shows, and that won't be the case with Gaming Morning Show. It won't take up entire 3-hour periods of our show, but it is something that we'll definitely reflect on and give you the opportunity to do the same, because we've had a lot of things in just 6 months of being on the air. As something as serious as crimes against certain groups, as you just mentioned with hate crimes this morning, to people suffering through mass power outages and having to deal with freezing temperatures like that, what happened in Texas. It's going to keep coming up, and we want to be a space where it's okay to talk about those things. So, yeah, we're excited to talk to Jess, because Jess already was working on this project clearly prior to today.
very excited to chat with her.
All right, it is St. Patrick's Day, and this is where my curiosity and excitement for people comes out. Mike had nothing on our rundown other than St. Patrick's Day in like 14-point font, and where it would otherwise be 10. It was bolded, and just decided, I don't even need any other national days of the day put into the rundown. This is just what I would like. So when someone is so excited about something, and I don't really fully understand why, I just feel the need to just yield the floor. So Mike, why are we excited about St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I get to drink. No, I'm kidding. So for me, it holds a very special. Again, so last night on my stream, I played Kind Words, and I got kind of sappy. So we're just gonna keep moving that into the morning.
Nice.
We're gonna keep being sappy here. For me, it's a very special thing. It was my mom's favorite holiday. My mom was I guess I don't know, whatever. She was Irish, right? And it was a super big thing. Like I have Irish tattoos because our relationship was so big, and that was such an important part that we, it kind of bled over into that. But this was what amped her up. Like she loved Christmas, but St. Patty's Day was amazing. We'd have corned beef and cabbage. She'd make bangers and mash, which I know most of these are like the American idea of it's an American idea of what St. Patrick's Day is. But yeah, I mean, it's such a fun holiday to celebrate, having Irish in your heritage. And even if you're not Irish, who the heck cares? Like, well, we'll invite you all in, and it'll be great. I found out a couple years ago that before Mom passed, if I wanted to, I could get my Irish citizenship because my grandmother, my mom's mom. So my mom was adopted. Her birth mom was off the boat from Ireland. So I was like, oh, that would have been awesome. But I mean, either way, it's a fun day to celebrate. Unfortunately, over the weekend, I saw right here in my wonderful city of Indianapolis, some people took it as an excuse to get real liquored up and do some really stupid things. But that's part of St. Patrick's Day. So apparently, or the American version. You know what? Lady K's right. Even the Irish get really crap faced and then do all sorts of dumb stuff.
Nice work with the
But it's a fun holiday to celebrate a fun heritage. So
nice adjustment. That's a nice PG-13 adjustment to crap faced.
Yeah.
Yes.
It almost came out. But
Y'all gonna get poop faced today.
We're gonna get dookie faced. Everyone get dookie
Feces faced.
Everyone wants.
But tonight we're gonna have some corned beef and cabbage for dinner. We're gonna make some bangers and mash, and it's just gonna be fun. And we're gonna. There are leprechaun traps all over our house. So my kids are at school. I'm trying to figure out ways to rig them up to like move. So when they get home, they'll be like, "Oh, we caught a leprechaun."
That'll be cute.
Yeah. Luckily, my two of my three daughters are still in a position to be like, "We really like this stuff," and then the other one's just like, she's 13, so she obviously knows everything, and doesn't believe in the the S guy, or the leprechauns or the Tooth Fairy or anything like that. So
the E guy, the T guy,
the E guy, the T guy,
all of them.
With all my luck, Sean's like kids are gonna show up in the background, and so I don't want to use the proper names.
Well, I like how you avoided S guy, but then you're like Tooth Fairy.
Well, I mean,
yeah, you can't be 100%.
All the kids know the Tooth Fairy is not real, right?
Good morning, Lady K. Good morning, Dr. Chick. AJ Storm, good morning, and thank you for the host. Of course, Axe was first, and thank you for the host, too. Going to be lurking for a second. Appreciate that. Saw Kiki. I saw Woo. Good morning, everybody. Scott Chick is here as well. Woo. On this edition of Gaming Morning Show, Kajito was first with a PH. First.
Oh.
So, I'm wearing green, according to Lady K. Do not pinch me. I honestly, every year I forget the green thing. I'm not very good with, planning.
If only someone had written it in the behind-the-scenes chat or something.
Yeah, I'm also bad at reading Discord. Pretty much everything that you guys need from me, I'm just not doing well. So, but, we'll figure it out. I mean, I even sent Jess the rundown yesterday. Might have been close to 9 Pacific, and usually those things go out like more than 24 hours ahead of time. So we're just getting by this morning. If potatoes are Irish gold, then a leprechaun's pot of gold is actually a pot of potatoes. Is that specifically the fun fact from Lady K? Lady K's fun fact of the day. Good morning, GMS and friends. I'm excited for my St. Patty's dinner tonight. My stepdad is a proud Irishman, and I'm thankful to celebrate the holiday. That is from Dr. Chick.
Nice.
Let's see. What was Axe talking about up here? Lady K already had a caps lock malfunction.
Lax came into my laxative. Lax came into my chat last night when I was on, and he was like, "Oh, good morning," because it was like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Oh no.
And I was like, "What are you doing, Axe?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't sleep." So he was just saying he's like, "Okay, I can't kill anything." So yeah, he was on what, like an hour of sleep.
Oh my gosh. Sleep, y'all. You gotta sleep as much as you can. I get so many fun facts a day. It's quite a privilege. Congratulations, AJ. You are the one.
Oh my gosh.
The one who gets the facts.
The Carfax.
We gotta give you like a neat nickname for that, AJ. The one who gets the facts. I can never limit myself to one fact a day. I would never deprive any of you of fun facts, and we appreciate that. Lady K is the giver of facts.
Like, I'm the bringer of chaos. She's the giver of facts. Dude, what the heck?
And so what is everyone up to on this Wednesday? How's the midweek going? We doing okay this week? How have things been going? I mean, it hasn't been super chaotic yet, right? So
No.
man, I feel like this game is going 4 or 5 times faster than normal in terms of like the movement speed.
Well, yeah, because these dudes are just murking us.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
I can't go anywhere without just getting instantaneously shot. I think I'm gonna invest in an aimbot.
Bring to me the chaos of ignorance, and I shall bring the order of knowledge.
So I was at a creamer this morning, so I had to run to Walgreens, and while I was getting creamer, this was staring at me. And I was like, all right, well, I gotta get it. And I'm really excited in the break to have a Pop-Tart.
It's unfortunate that, you know, they were just staring at you. I mean, how rude was that? They should, you know, give you some space.
I heard them. They were like, eat me. Me in your belly. All right. Well, who am I to deny a Pop-Tart of its demise?
Destination. It should go in my belly.
Sorry, Chief.
Morning, Sean.
Morning.
How was your Tuesday?
It was good. It was long. It was, work was fine. We had a full staff work meeting during my lunch, so it was one of those days that just never seemed to end because it was loaded with patients, and then I had to drive over to the other office and meeting, and then drive back, and then patients again. I was like, oh yeah, didn't really get a break.
So you're saying is you never ran out of patience?
Never ran out of patients.
Dr.
So
Humor?
it wasn't a crazy day, but it just seemed like a long day because of the meeting.
Mike, you forgot to laugh. I said you might.
I did.
I'll
Am I
explain
muted?
it I'll explain it to you. So like a doctor has patience, but patience is also a term referring to someone's ability to stay calm-ish. I don't know how you define patience. But it is 6:23 on the West Coast, 9:23 on the East Coast, and it's 1:23 in the UK. Morning, Kajito. Guten Morgen. By the way, you wrote Guten Morgen behind Mike talking about Pop-Tarts, and I thought I saw gluten or something like that at first.
Gluten.
Gluten Morgen. I'm like, oh.
I love some gluten.
Potato sandwich. I made Alfredo pasta at 1:30 a.m. Wow, I got hungry and potatoes wasn't going to do it. I haven't had a craving at like 1:30 in the morning. Like, I eat sugar like none other, but like I've never woken up and been like, gosh, I'm so hungry for something. Is that because I just eat all the time? I'm never hungry.
That's probably why, honestly.
Okay, cool. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Super fun.
And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, right?
Super, I tried my best, friend, to block out my day to make it for the Super Looper gig coming up today at 8 p.m. GMT and whatever damn time that is Pacific at this point. It's probably somewhere around like 11 a.m. I don't know anymore. I couldn't do it, so I'm going to do my best to tune in as I could or can over the course of the day. I'm so excited. Have you ever been to a Super gig?
Yeah. I was at the one where you got like a bazillion followers or people that showed up. I think it was a bazillion. I think that's the official number.
Let me do some calculations. carry the one.
Did he just lick his finger to use his phone?
You don't do that?
My grandfather had one of those like pull things, so I would just sit there and be like, and I broke it once, and he was pissed.
2,542,757. That's the answer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. In case you're wondering, chat. Wage is here. Kakuri, good morning. It is good to see you. Music hype. Hold on in game. Be right back. Fair enough. That emo kid Mark, it's good to see you as well. What up, GMS? I see we are talking about music today. We are always talking about music.
I love that emo kid Mark. He was in my stream last night too, and last night I was playing like random Steam games, and there was one called Tadpole Tales, where it was like you're shooting like these dirty frogs to clean them up because your thing got polluted. And Mark was like, "I'm just listening to you. Like I can't see anything," and I'm just like, "Why is there a duck?" Ah! Like I can only imagine like the imagery running through the brain. Like,
but why is there a duck?
yeah, I think at one point I referred to myself as super sperm, and I don't know. So he was probably like, "What is happening?" So yeah.
What is Duck? Who are you?
Who are duck?
Who are Duck? You did miss it yesterday, though. Mike was fairly musical yesterday, Mark. You were singing songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Are you talking about in my stream?
No, in this stream. You were
I was
singing-
doing that here.
Yes. Well, no, you weren't doing all of that here. I mean, we can't handle that much, Mike. But
I don't remember that.
I know. You're like, I blacked out for a little bit. What happened?
I just blacked out, and that was the end of it.
I got a notification that it was today. My phone is slow. It is St. Patrick's Day. We're asking you, what are you doing today? I've never really done like a full-blown St. Patrick's Day celebration, to be honest. Like, I've never done a ton of green beer. I have done corned beef and cabbage. I do like corned beef quite a bit. Corned beef hash is like one of the best breakfast foods. So there's that.
It very much is.
Yeah. Lady K is going to be taming dinosaurs and hunting alpha dinosaurs of the deadly variety. You get them dinosaurs. You take care of them. Okay. What we need to do is take care of video game news. We're going to go to the newsroom right now. We're going to get informed. We're going to find out what the haps are. Here's hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, and this is your gaming morning show, Morning Gaming News. Have you guys heard of Super Nintendo World out in Japan? I don't think we've talked about it yet.
Super Nintendo World.
Speaking of
The
video
one
games.
in Japan.
The Japan one. Well, this was a fun story, so I decided to share it, even though we've talked about it so very much. Since traveling is obviously very restricted still, and many of us can't go to Universal Studios in Japan, and most of us don't want to wait until 2025 to go to the Orlando version of Super Nintendo World. A lot of the rides have video ride-throughs around on YouTube. So you can experience large portions of Super Nintendo World right from home. So this article we're linking is great because it has links to all of those different rides, including the Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge, Yoshi's Adventure, and the Power Up Band Key challenges. And you can check out the 1-Up Factory and Mario Motors. And then it also includes some good videos of all of the different food items that are around, so you can check those out. And then someone also posted a full park walkthrough video. So if you're interested in Super Nintendo World and haven't checked out much of the details, these are really good videos to start with, to give you a tour of what it looks like, what's there, what you can do, and then some of the rides. And that's exciting.
I want to go.
All from the safety of your home.
Yeah, I'd rather go out.
My home?
We're all going to Mike's.
What?
Xbox Game Pass, we recently listed the 20 Bethesda games that were added to Xbox Game Pass, but now they've announced even more games that they're adding to the subscription service for the month. So this is from Liana Rupert of Game Informer, and this is a pretty good list. Undertale's finally coming to Game Pass. Undertale is going to be available for cloud, console, and PC, available today. Empire of Sin is available to all tomorrow. Nier Automata tomorrow. Star Wars Squadrons tomorrow, Torchlight 3 tomorrow, Genesis Noir on the 25th, Octopath Traveler on the 25th, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire on the 25th, Superland, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, Narita Boy, and Outriders all later this month. Outriders available April 1st. That is a brand new game, and they announced that it was going to be available on Game Pass. And there are ways to get a refund if you have pre-ordered that game. So if for some reason you have that game pre-ordered and you have Xbox Game Pass, please go cancel your pre-order because you're already getting it for free. And I don't know if I've said it on the show, but people have been talking about it for at least the last 10 years. Stop pre-ordering games. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't unless there's some exclusive pre-order thing that you actually care about. Stop pre-ordering games. Don't.
I like how you're
Bad.
just staring into our souls right now.
Don't do it. The time for pre-ordering games has passed. You don't need to do that. They also have some DLC stuff, and a couple games are leaving, but nothing big.
Bye.
Speaking of Xbox, actual segue.
Nice.
In the most interesting report I read all morning, Matt TM Kim of IGN reports that Xbox Series X VR is not in the works. Because that's the news.
Remember ever hearing that, so it's like, yeah.
Me neither. That's why this came out of nowhere. A Microsoft spokesperson told IGN that the VR headset is not coming to Xbox Series X/S at this time. It apparently was reported to be in the works, but I never heard that. So IGN Italy reported that while testing the new Xbox wireless headset, a prompt appeared on their Xbox Series X system saying that, quote, their VR headset needs an update, which is apparently where all of this started. But a Microsoft spokesperson got in touch with IGN, and the company says that the copy in this error message is inaccurate due to a localization bug. VR for console is not a focus for us at this time. So if you were thinking that VR was coming to Microsoft consoles anytime soon, that apparently is not the case, despite what maybe the Italian version of the operating system might say.
I think at this point there's got to be like reporters or something who just have these templates that go out like every week, and it's just like, hey, are you getting VR? Hey, are you getting this? Hey, are you getting that? Because every time that someone like releases something over here, someone's like, hey, am I going to get it over here? I am really, though, back to the Game Pass. I'm kind of jealous that Star Wars Squadrons is out on Game Pass.
Dude, I literally, as Sean was saying that, I saw that and may have pooped a little.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic one. Undertale's also a really good game. If you haven't played Undertale, check that out.
That's so cool. In other news, at this time, I have no plans to become an alien.
And I'm not going pro, so.
Yeah. We're all good. Glad we're all on the same page.
Chat, anything you need to let us know that you're not going to do?
Yeah, anything at this time that you're not going to do?
Okay. Leave that in your
this is also a really good time to announce that GMS is not signing an exclusive deal with Peacock. So we'll still be available on the services we are now.
To be honest, we are Peacock because we are the best promotional vehicle for Peacock out there, because we talk more about Peacock than anyone else. Yeah, anywhere. Even Peacock.
And always
talk
last.
about themselves as much.
But never least, we finish off today's gaming morning show, Morning Gaming News, with the world-renowned segment within a segment where we talk about what is out today. Brought to you by Peacock. Beach Buggy Racing 2 Island Adventure is out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Adios out on Xbox One and PC. In Rays of the Light out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Signs of the Sojourner out on PlayStation 4.
So what was that? Signs of the what?
Sojourner.
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 Bruce Jenner.
Sojourner. Bruce Jenner.
Caitlyn
Dungeon
Jenner?
Defenders Awakened out on
Jenner,
Xbox
Jenner?
One. Under Depths of Fear out on Switch. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's name of the morning goes to Eztuan Reboot R out on PC. It's EZ the number 2 O N. Eztuan As
Is this
Tuan.
the rated R version? Is there a Ez Tuan reboot PG-13
Maybe,
or G?
maybe, but this is definitely.
I like how you
our
found
version.
a way to put a question mark somewhere in the middle of easy 2 in there. You were like, what
Ez
is this? What
Tuan?
am I looking at?
Ez
Tuan?
I really hope that the Adios game, like you just boot it up and then it says Adios and like kicks you, and that's like the whole game. You just keep doing that over and over again.
Thank you for the experience. It was great. I appreciate it.
Adios.
All right, search hashtag GMS Morning Gaming News to find all the information on our Twitter at WatchGMS. You can find us there. We are excited to continue to announce the name of the month coming up next month, as now name of the morning Ez Tuan Reboot R is eligible to be our name of the month. Big thanks to all of our Patreons.
Time is running out to become a GMS early adopter. Claim yours at patreon.com/gamingmorningshow.
Thank you so much to all those who have joined us, including Sushi, our latest Patreon subscriber. For less than a Twitch subscription, you can join us as well, but you only have about 2 weeks left until that goes away. Big thanks to Kiki for joining us this morning. Hope you had a good time being part of the shower crew. Superphonic, I only ever pre-ordered Nintendo games. After No Man's Sky, I just can't. And AJ agreed. No Man's Sky was both a letdown, but also a lot of fun. Why are we always the winner? Why?
We're really good at
We're
this.
very good at winning.
We win.
Yeah, doesn't matter. We'll find a way to win in some way, somehow. Do you make a good corned beef then? Either of you? I'm looking at Mike because he's
My
the
wife,
same
my
batch.
wife does. My wife makes a really
When,
good.
when
corned
your
beef.
wife is making corned beef, describe kind of some of the things that she might say.
Why are you so close to me? Can you, like, get away from me? I am trying to make corned beef. I hate you.
Sean,
You
it's gonna
smell.
be such a letdown. It just
Yeah,
is.
it's gonna be a huge
It's
letdown.
so sad. I would look at Megan and be like, "We wasted the good surprise on you."
Huge.
It is National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. It is National SBDC Day, which at least I think in the U.S. is the Small Business Development something committee, cooperative, something like that. Universal Women's Week.
I bet it's Cougar.
I think it actually is Cougar now that you say it. Sleep Awareness Week, Groundwater Awareness Week, and it is Introverts Week. So, introverts,
Yay.
how you doing this morning?
Woohoo! Axe, I don't know, but Axe will be here in 4 minutes.
Thank you, Axe. I know Sean's introverted. Are you introverted, Mike?
Me? Oh, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't come across like that a lot, but yeah, very much.
Well, I think that's the difference, in social introverts versus anti-social, non-social introverts. So you seem like a very social dude, but it sounds like you still recharge away from the people.
Yeah.
Sound
yeah.
accurate? Yeah, good. Yeah.
I don't like people. They're smelly.
Oh, well, I like you.
Oh, thanks.
We got stories coming up. There's going to be a big eruption of applause, and then some movie theaters open up in places. Shut up, Sean.
Did you just want to say eruption?
I did.
Is that what it was?
Survivor champion starts something. We'll tell you about that. And King of the Hill might come back. Yay. All right, Wage, I get that. I hate small talk in large groups. I do like genuine human connections, though. Yes. I
I'd
think
say
that's
it's pretty spot on. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
That's how I feel.
There you go.
Erupt.
Eruption.
That's going to be the new scent from Gaming Morning Show. We're going to make a clone. Eruption.
Eruption.
Pancake erupt. I love it. Annie love it.
Put it on a pancake. Smell like a pancake.
Put it on a pancake.
That's a little bit too much, Bob. Could we
Yeah,
back it
this
off
Bob
a
just
little
kind of threw it out.
He's
Scared
bad
me.
at whispering.
bit? Yeah. Like, hey,
Maybe
Bob,
Bob's hard of hearing. So he's like,
It's all,
Yeah.
it's all or nothing.
just whisper it in our ear, Bob. All right, get really close. Okay, I'm listening.
Put it on a pancake.
God, Bob.
darn it, Bob.
Jeez, chill out. All right. We don't know. We'll tell you in a little bit, Mark, because that's called a tease. But I also haven't read it, so I don't actually know the answer. But we'll get there. Did you like King of the Hill back in the day? I mean, it was like the show that I'd watch when The Simpsons weren't on, when I was really watching The Simpsons. Does that make sense? Like, I wanted to watch The Simpsons. Simpsons weren't on, but you know, King of the Hill was, so I'll watch that. But I never loved King of the Hill.
Yeah, I don't recall ever putting King of the Hill on. It just sometimes was on. You know?
Yeah. Boom.
It was
There
like
you go.
Mike's Pop Tarts. He wasn't looking for
Yeah,
Pop
they're
Tarts.
just staring
He's
at
looking
you.
right at me.
Just stopped by and said hi.
I mean, legit. That's like it. I wouldn't watch it, but you'd be like flipping through, and you're like, "Oh, King of the Hill." Like, I'll just leave this on.
Or it came on after the thing you were actually watching. You're like, oh yeah, I'll finish
Like
that.
football, for example. Football would be on, and then You're like, "Oh, King of the Hill. Yeah, why not?" Right?
That's true. I've never thought about that, AJ. Have
Dang
we ever
it,
put King of-
Bobby.
Have we ever put King of the Hill on? Should we start calling Bob Bobby? I wonder if Bob likes that. Probably not. I'm guessing that's a big no.
Dang it,
Robert?
Bobby.
Bobby Syrup. Oh my gosh, we have 2 product lines now. Gaming Morning Show Bobby Syrup and Pancake Cologne.
I don't know what a JPEG is. All I want is a gosh dang hot dog.
What is that from?
It's from King of the Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to believe me. That's fine. The only reason I know that though is because it was like a TikTok trend where people would say that. Ah, sucker! Oh,
Wait, what was that? What?
I blew a guy up and then I died.
My mom calls me Bobby when she's trying to be cute. When she's trying to be cute, or when you're in trouble.
Dang it, Bobby!
Mike, did you
Yeah, that's
see
me.
the Pokemon King of the Hill video on YouTube?
Okay, so I think I said this before, but I don't. Mark probably wasn't really. I'm not really a Pokemon fan. I don't know a lot about the Poke things. I just know that there's like a lot of them, and you're supposed to catch them. Probably so they don't like poop in your living room, because I mean they're little. They have to have
Come on.
tiny little bladders. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way those things are holding it for that long. So yeah, that's all I could tell you about the Pokey things.
What?
There's a Snarlax or something. Grim explained this to me. What was the one she was talking about? A Charmander, which turns into a Charizard. It sounds like a grill, like a charcoal company.
Wait, so my kids are really into this. Really, Charizard is like the evolved version of Charmander?
Well, yeah, duh.
I actually didn't know that. I thought they were 2 separate types of Pokemon.
I mean, you could tell me anything, honestly, and I'd believe you. So that's how little I know about the Pokey things. I do know I really like the Japanese snack called Poke. That's pretty delicious.
You want like a whole bunch of it?
No, but I enjoy it.
Man, why are we losing B? I thought we were doing pretty good here for a second.
We were
He's
for
kinda
1
gone
second.
back and forth a bunch.
Sucker.
And then there's Pacific Food Poke. What's the difference?
I don't know.
Okay. Wage.
Wait, what's
Can you describe the difference? Not to put
one
you
of
on the
them
spot,
is
but
not from the Pacific?
we heard Wage is the
Okay, I don't know.
Poke
It's
expert,
just-
so
yeah. Pokey,
it's
pokey.
Pokey, not Poke. Okay. Pokey.
Okay. That's how we poke. The fancy people say poke. Poob. What is up, Poob? All right. So hold on. Axe, you said 4 minutes. Now you're saying 10 minutes. You can't just change the time. This is unreal. How can I trust you?
I think I'm all done with Axe lying to us all the time.
Serious.
This will be the last time, Axe.
This is it.
We're Bobby?
Robert?
Oh god, I love that.
My dad instilled that habit into me of calling people that use like shortened versions of their name, like, you know, Bobby instead of Robert, into calling people by a longer name. And then at one point I was like, I wonder if that just really annoys people. So then I'd actually do it out of habit and be like, hey, I'm sorry though, this is a bad habit of mine. Does this annoy you? So I actually
This
asked
is a
the
bad habit of mine. Is this annoying? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, I tried not to do it anyway. I just tried to make sure it was cool if I did.
No, exactly. That's the
right.
Thank you, Lady K. I apologize for saying the wrong pokey.
Wage, I'm still looking for this explanation though. What's the difference between Pacific food pokey and the other type of pokey?
Oh, Jelly's here. Hi, Jelly. I saw Wage say hi to Jelly, and I was like, Jelly isn't here. What are you talking about, Wage? And then she said, good morning, everybody. Hey. Well, she actually said that first. So, I'm just slow. I've been drinking lots of Guinness. And by Guinness, I mean coffee.
What? Although coffee's.
You ever have an Irish coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
Irish coffee is pretty good.
Look how you both grabbed your coffee right at that moment.
Oh, you didn't get that memo either?
Oh, sorry. Irish coffee. It's delicious.
Man. Mark, I thought you were 14. You can't drink. Ah, he's not 14.
Yes, with Bailey's creamer. Pokey is a pretzel stick covered in either white, milk, or dark chocolate, sometimes coated in crushed nuts or freeze-dried fruit.
Why would you just cover it in milk? Then it just gets soggy.
Maybe it's slightly expired milk.
I like jelly. I am Irish, so every coffee I make is Irish tech.
True. Well,
Fair.
maybe I didn't hear that. Just saying that pokey is amazing food. Okay, I thought for some reason there was like a different variant. I don't know if I've ever had pokey. What is pokey?
Lady K just explain what it was.
Is that really what it is?
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't doubting Lady K. I just thought that was a different type of version of pokey.
You know, I'm gonna go. I think from now on, actually, that's a good. I'm gonna go to a restaurant and be like, "Hi, can you tell me what this is?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's made with blah blah blah," and they'll be like, "Oh, what's in it?" Just see what they do, because I'm curious if they'd be like really mad at me.
See, I thought the same thing, Mark. Like, I thought it had something more to do with like some sort of sushi. So, I was clearly wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, like a poke bowl.
No, that's different.
That's something different. Damn. Everything I thought was.
Sushi is called sushi.
I know, but I thought poke had something to do with sushi. So. there you go.
Pokey things.
I don't know. Do you eat Pikachu? I don't know how this works. This is very confusing.
What do you think Pikachu would taste like? Like, would you have to marinate Pikachu, or could you eat Pikachu like just as is? Not
Just
raw,
raw
because that would be
Pikachu?
gross. No. I mean, you'd lightly cook it. Oh, it tastes like Chakin. Yeah. I know that's a slip wage, but I kind of want to call it Chakin from now on. Megan's gonna be like, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'll be like, "Chakin."
That's not what
Hey,
Megan
what are you-
would
what are you
ask.
talking
how
about?
Would
Chakin.
How would Megan actually ask that?
What do you want for dinner?
Perfect.
Chakin.
Pikachu.
It's not real.
Yummy.
If she knew that I portrayed her as a like valley girl thing, she'd totally kick me in the nuts.
Can we at least have it on camera?
Yeah, probably. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna set this up," and she's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, You talk like this in my brain."
I don't know who's better with the Valley Girl, you or Kiki. What do you do? It's doing pretty good with that. We got just.
Well, I'm from Jersey, so I've met the girls who think they're valley girls because there's no valleys in Jersey.
There's
You
no,
know, like we're gonna go to the mall.
Is there no
and totally
elevation?
get some orange Julius
is there no elevation
and.
in Jersey?
What's that?
Like, or Jersey's just flat from start to finish?
No, there's just no valleys. It's like either mountain or flatland.
Okay.
A valley is in between two mountains.
Okay. Gotcha. So no mountains converge to make a valley.
Ain't no mountain too high, ain't no valley low.
See, you're singing. You didn't think you were, but you're singing. My assumption is that Pacific version uses salmon instead of tuna. But I thought there was something about chocolate. I'm so
It's
confused.
made out of pretzels.
Yes.
So there's pokey sticks with
Okay.
a Y at the end,
Okay.
and that's like a pretzel-y type cookie thing stick that's dipped in something usually sweet, and it could be chocolate. Sometimes it's like
Pocky,
strawberry
my
flavored
bad.
chocolate. Yeah.
P-O-C-K-Y.
Yeah, and then there's P-O-K-E, pokey, which is like there's like a Hawaiian dish that includes. I don't know how to pronounce it. Pokey.
Okay.
Pocky.
Okay.
Okay.
How about hokey?
Okay. Hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
That's a whole. Now we're just getting into a whole nother kind of pokey. The hokey pokey.
So what do you do with your left foot?
Put it on a pancake.
I don't think that's how it works, but how do you then what do you do with your left foot?
Put it on a pancake.
I think Bob's stuck on this pancake thing.
That
Put it on a pancake.
coincidentally, that's my left foot that does that.
And that's what it's all about. Hey! All right, we got birthdays this day in gaming history coming up. We want to tell you first, of course, on this St. Patrick's Day about moviegoers erupting in L.A. Ryan read the headlines. That's all I got. Mike, can you actually tell us what the hell I'm talking about?
Yeah, there was a volcano in L.A. and
Thank you,
people-
Mike. All
moviegoers
right, back to-
shot out of it.
It was a big volcanic cannon. It was amazing.
Just
Thank you, Chris
filled with
Gardner of Hollywood
moviegoers.
Reporter. It was crazy. All right, you should have been there. Birthdays.
birthdays. Are we doing birthdays?
No, finish
What's
the-
happening?
Finish the eruption.
Fine. Movies. Back to you.
Movies.
No, in LA, in California, the land of the, I don't really know how to say, whatever it is. Moviegoers have decided at the AMC Century 15 to start showing movies in the theater again. They're taking a lot of protocols, like requiring that you wear a mask. They're wiping down seats. There's hand sanitizer. They prefer that you're vaccinated, but if you're not, they're not going to say anything. But with vaccines going up and more people getting vaccinated, they're rolling out like soft reopenings where they are opening movie theaters again. And a lot of folks are super, super elated about it. The one that they showed yesterday was Fox Searchlight's Nomadland, which scored 6 Oscar nominations earlier in the day, including a historic making nod for director Chloe Zhao. But before the first frame appeared, they also threw a little smorgasbord in there of COVID-19 protocols, and they've asked that you wear your mask every time except when you're eating or drinking. And then finally, before the big show happened, they had a big thing on the screen that said, "Welcome back to the movies." Now, normally, well, not normally, according to one of my friends, white people do this a lot. At the end of movies, people clap, because you're excited about something. I don't know why. But they clapped after that came up. So they were all very, very excited to get back to the movies. And they all clapped and cheered when they said, "Welcome back to the movies." So there was a guy who said a thing. What is his name?
You got this.
He said, "I saw people over here, but wasn't sure if it's this week or next week," said one male shopper. "I'll definitely come back this weekend." I didn't, I think I pasted the wrong quote, but either way, people are very, very excited. They're super geeked to come back to the movies. I am super torn because I miss the holy heck out of movie theaters, but I also really like breathing on my own.
Okay.
So
Fair. I think at this point, especially when it comes to a movie, I've waited 12 months. I can probably wait another 6 and be okay. So,
yeah.
but I'm excited for when I get that opportunity again. I do like how we tell.
Well, the good news is the federal government has said by May 1st, everyone should be eligible to receive a vaccine. So pay attention to your local needle people and ask them when you can get a vaccine.
I do say that, and then in the same breath too acknowledge the fact that there's going to be a lot of countries that are not in the same boat as the United States, and a lot of that boils down to finances and systems. We were talking about that. I had a conversation with Wallstormer. I was like, hey, I'm excited to do lunch with you at some point. And then, Wallstormer brought up Brazil. And apparently Brazil's in a world of hurt when it comes to COVID. So not everywhere is out of the woods yet. So we can simultaneously tell you about LA movie theaters and talk about May 1st, because that's important. But then also keep in mind what's going on, too. Those both can be true.
Well, I think along the same vein, too, we can also talk about movie theaters opening and and also ask people to continue being responsible. I think that's a really big thing too, to where we're gonna get vaccines. A, that doesn't mean you can't still carry the virus, and B, I mean, there are still gonna be people that don't get the virus. And granted, it's easy to be like, oh, well, they're stupid. Well, they're not. They have their reasons and their beliefs for it. While you don't agree with it, it's important that we realize, like, that's still there. And I mean, I've lost a number of friends to COVID, and I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Like, I don't care how dumb you, or how reckless you are, not even dumb. You should never wish ill upon people. And while, we can enjoy getting back to normalcy and going to movies and going to stuff, it's still important to remember, like, wear a mask, don't get up in people's faces, just take the basic precautions, and then we'll all be pretty good. So, and like Jelly can't get the vaccine due to her illnesses. So, like, you still need to keep in mind there are some people out there that, need us to be responsible to help them, not just because I want to go get a burger or go to a buffet. So,
Pib, good luck with the transfer.
I do really want to go to a buffet, though.
Good luck with the transfer of data, because hard drive transfers are such a pain in the butt. So good luck with that.
You can do it.
All right, let's do birthdays. On St. Patrick's Day, it is Patrick Duffy's birthday. 72 years old today. The Dallas and Step by Step actor. Did you know
that he was married at a Buddhist temple?
I did not. Did you?
In 1974. Wow. Where do you think he got married in 1975?
They get married every year?
I don't know. Maybe. That's not normal.
I guess I wouldn't think so. I just didn't know he was in Dallas. That was like my biggest thing about Patrick Duffy. So.
Really?
Yeah, I had no clue.
He was a stud.
I knew he was the step-by-step guy. That was it.
Contrary to what this picture shows, he was a stud back in the day.
70 for Kurt Russell today.
Fell asleep.
Lots of typing.
Gary Sinise, 66.
I love Gary. Lieutenant Dan.
Rob,
Lieutenant Dan.
Rob
Ice
Lowe.
cream.
Rob Lowe is 57.
Wow.
I'm just waiting for you to quote every single person on this list. Do you have one for Rob
Sorry.
Lowe?
I didn't quote Patrick Duffy. I just said he was a stud.
Oh, true. Billy
Was. Now he just looks weird.
Corgan is 54.
Nice.
Brittany Daniels,
He smashed
45.
some pumpkins.
John Boyega is 29.
No, go ahead. Just you keep talking.
I'm just trying to fit myself in. And Nat King Cole
I'm just really
Put it on
trying.
a pancake.
had a birthday on March 17th. Died in 1965.
Who did?
Nat King Cole.
Oh, gotcha. I love Nat King Cole. His music is great. It's Mia Hamm's birthday. She was a soccer person.
Olympic
Player.
medalist.
Person? What? She was. She was probably one of the greatest. The GOATs, as they call them. GOATs. Hey, it's Matthew St. Patrick's birthday.
No.
He's 53. Go figure. Good job, Matt. I'm just gonna shut up now.
I actually that one's probably one of the most interesting ones on this list. Oh, I mean, was he born on St. Patrick? Well, it could be. It's his last name. Did he adopt it? Like, is it
Maybe
his real
he
last
is
name?
St. Patrick.
6 feet under was the credit here on this list.
It's Hosier's birthday as well.
Sean, do you want to say anything before we go?
Bassist Melissa Aufdermau which I only bring up. It's her birthday. She's 49. She was the basis for Smashing Pumpkins. So Billy Corgan and her share a birthday, and we're in the same
That's
band.
crazy.
And Billy Corgan owns National
St.
Wrestling
Patrick's.
Alliance.
He sure does.
So
Weird. And I played a Smashing Pumpkins song on Monday. It's all coming together.
I'll let you handle the
Wait, what?
automod on that one, Mike. Since it's targeted at you. Morning, DRG. Coming up, we'll have Jessica Chow joining us, owner of a Chindian Boutique. It's an eclectic Californian secondhand shop for women, men, and kids. Hashtag Stop Asian Hate. We're talking about that today, and Jessica is doing some good work donating to NGOs who support Asian American communities. That's coming up 7:25 a.m. Pacific time. Miss Theo will join us to host here in the second hour. This day in gaming history, Sega released Sonic Drift 2 for Game Gear back in '95, Pokemon Ruby, and Pokemon Set. Okay, why do they release two games? I'm confused. Why does it?
You don't know?
I don't. I want to know because there's Sword and
Yeah, I
Shield.
have no idea.
Like my son had this book and was going through it. He's like, you can get this one if you have Shield. You can get this one if you have.
And what is the phrase with Pokemon? What's the thing you have to do?
You have to catch them all.
And you can't catch them all unless you have both copies. Or a friend with the other copy. So there's two to force you to either trade, which I think is if you wanted to look in the positive way, it forces you to trade with other people, or it forces you to buy two copies of the game.
Can you
so
trade
can catch them
between
all.
games?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That makes way more sense. Rockstar Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars came out this date for Nintendo DS in 2009. Same year, Resistance Retribution came out for PlayStation Portable in the US. And 2017, no, I don't want you to restart, computer. No, don't get a restart. Ubisoft, don't call me Ubisoft, released Ghost Recon Wildlands video game for PS4 and Xbox One. All right, chat, we have to say goodbye to Sean. DRG will give Mike a ton of Swansea crap in the sports segment, so there you go. Oh, the rebuttal has been posted. Everyone say goodbye to Sean. Goodbye, Sean. We'll miss you.
Bye to Sean.
Bye to Sean. Bye.
You're
We'll
the
miss you.
greatest.
We'll miss you. It'll be sad. Bye.
Goat.
Bye, Sean. Come
He
back.
just vanished. Wow.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Miss Theo joins us to guest host coming up in the 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock hours. We'll also talk to Jessica Chow as well. Stick around. A lot more coming up. It's this edition of Gaming Morning Show on Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Thanks for being with us, and we'll hang out with you soon.
Trying to find my way of being, trying to make you shine.
Gaming Morning Show continues. It is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at Gaming Morning Show. My name is Ryan, and we're going to pivot into our 7 o'clock hour in a slightly different way than we normally would. Going to bring Mike back here in a second. As I mentioned, Theo is going to join us as well, and then we're going to talk to Jess Chow coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, and just working up on how exactly we're going to do that, and we'll figure out how to do that, because this is a show that, unlike radio, is not bred in perfection, and so we can move things around, and we can bring different people in, and we can figure out how we're going to do this. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring in Mike O and Theo, and the reason I'm going to do this as an introduction first is I grew up with a background in radio, and it was something we had to try and be upbeat and happy, even in situations where we might not have had to be. I mean, when you're doing a morning show, part of the scope of a morning show is to try to provide you energy, try to make it feel like you want to go out and have a great day, right? The reality, though, is sometimes it's not easy to have a great day, okay? Especially when there's disappointment and sadness and death and hate in the world, okay? And so as we transition to bringing Mike and Theo in, this is part of the reason for it is Theo's a good friend of mine and someone that I've cared about for decades. And today there's a lot of hurt in her world. And so it's okay that if we spend the 7 o'clock hour talking about why that is something that we should be able to do. So Mike goes back. That is Theo as well on the top left. I appreciate you being with us this morning. Jessica, like I said, going to join us here in a little bit. We're just figuring out how to coordinate. You texted me, Theo, and you said, hey, I'm going to have a hard time being upbeat today. We talked about the hate crimes that happened earlier in the last 24 hours. I'm going to just kind of give you a chance to talk and also use your journalistic chops because, we went to school together for that. What happened? Describe what we know and then how that's impacting you today.
Absolutely. I found out last night, a friend DM'd me on Instagram, and right before I was going to go to bed, and I honestly have not slept at all just because I'm just so devastated and emotional about what happened. It was shooting in Atlanta at multiple massage parlors or salons owned by the Asian community. And what we know now is that it was just a person who went and did the shooting spree within a couple hours of each other. And it was targeted in that community. Most of the victims were female Asian women as well, which seems to be a larger number of the targets of Asian crime, just against women, Asian women. So it just really, I don't know. It's just very difficult to process right now. And with everything that's been happening in terms of like race, within our country, around the world, and this kind of event is so incredibly devastating and unfortunate, but it just goes to show you how much more room we have to grow and to educate ourselves and to love ourselves enough inside so that we can then give that love out to everyone else, And I know hurt people, right? Like we learn things from our communities, from where we grew up, and it's time for us to really come together, especially during these kinds of situations. The Black community has obviously suffered an insane amount of just oppression, violence, all of that. And when it started coming out that it was a few Black men who were pushing over Asian elders, in the streets, just pushing him in the streets, that started causing a race war within the Black and Asian community, which is already a sensitive subject, based off of fear, and that's how they get us. It's feeding into your fear. So I just want to bring that up as well, because all love to the Black, all love to the Asian community, all love to all communities here, and we're not going to let that kind of behavior stoke that fire, because that is a stereotype that, you know, that they want us to believe in, and that's just that's just the message. Do not let that overtake your fear. Do not let that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, just because I'm sorry. I'm just still very emotional about it.
And you are,
I think about my family. You know, I think about my family.
yeah.
Now it's like I don't want my parents to like walk around. You know.
Yeah, and this is a place where, you know, we want you to feel composed and safe, and you'll be able to express your emotions. So if you need to take seconds, that's the other thing that's nice about a show like this, is we don't have to fill the air just because, you know, we have to, right? We can have a moment of reality in this space. And I'll you know, you weren't here for the first hour, and I'm gonna let Mike kind of reiterate some of the things that he said, because, and you can tell me if I'm speaking out of turn, Mike, but we come from a place of tremendous privilege as white men, right? But you expressed that same kind of sentiment earlier about this idea of coming from a place of love, okay? As you hear Theo's thoughts, describe kind of how that reinforces some of the comments you made in the first hour.
Listening to Theo talk hurts a lot, because not because of what she said, because as a white man in America, I come from a unique perspective. I grew up, can't even say words. I grew up in a predominantly black city in Patterson, and I was targeted as a young person. But that was like, it's the smallest smidge of what a lot of other people who aren't white men and women in America have to go through. And it's just, it kills me to see that we can't just all, and not to like make a joke out of a statement, but like that we all can't get along. Like, we are all one people. It doesn't matter where you come from, who your mom is, who your dad is, how big your house is. We're all human beings. And if we could all see that, that would be incredible. And as someone who lives in Indiana, I see hate constantly. It makes me want to throw up. And unfortunately, kind of like to Theo's point, a lot of the hate recently has been geared towards Asian Americans, and it's incredibly frustrating. I spent 2 hours visiting with a woman yesterday from Korea who is caring for her family. With my job, part of what I do is I find resources for seniors within our county to help kind of take some of the burden off of them. And just through my 2 hour conversation with her, like, she expressed some of the concern that she has, and she always said, like, no one will help us. You know, we, and especially with COVID, like, they've been targeted. You know, the people, you know, yeah, go back to China, and why did you make us all sick? And it's stupid. Like, and I mean, I made the point, today's St. Patrick's Day, right? It's a day to celebrate a heritage. We should celebrate every heritage as the same, whether it's white, whether it's black, if, you know, African heritage, Irish heritage, Asian heritage, whatever it is. We should love and celebrate everything on an equal. I always feel weird when people say, like, all lives matter, and they do. I mean, don't get me wrong, but there are certain points where we really need to fight for a certain life over others right now. Like, we're all equal, we're all the same, we all matter, but today we need to focus on black lives. Today we need to focus on Asian lives. There are people who don't get a platform or get the love and respect that they need and they deserve. And the fact that people have to say, like, oh, they deserve respect is just ridiculous to me, because I always would have thought that was common sense. You know, today for me is a day for my mom, because she absolutely, there goes Ryan. She absolutely loved St. Patrick's Day, but she's the person who instilled in me that she's the one who instilled in me love and respect and caring, and you treat everybody. I mean, it's the golden rule. You treat people as you want you to be treated, right? So if I want to be treated like crap, I should treat people like crap, I guess. But no one wants to feel that. So it just, as a white man, it's very difficult, because I feel like when you get up on this pedestal, you know, it's like we don't. I mean, I don't fully understand what what real hatred looks like, and it makes me very sad that anyone has to go through that. Where I instill on my daughters, like, hey, treat everyone. It doesn't matter what we look like. It's your character that should determine who you are and how we treat you. And for most people, their character is good and pure. And it just seeing this news this morning absolutely killed me because it hurt more than like the George Floyd thing for me, because this was a targeted, terrible attack on somebody, on multiple people. So now there are folks who don't have daughters or wives or sisters. I don't know who all the victims are as of now, but somebody's not going to have somebody coming home to them, and that's awful.
We're talking about. Oh, I'm going to let you discuss that. We're just talking about 8 people killed in shootings over the course of 3 different places in the Atlanta area, and it's hashtag Stop Asian Hate. We're going to bring in Jess Chow to talk about this, because this was the point of having an interview set up with Jess, who's owner of a boutique that was working specifically on donating proceeds around supportive Asian American communities. And then we had this planned, kind of dating back to last week when Theo was last on the show. And of course, this news comes out over the course of the evening. So Theo, I'll let you talk.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to have this conversation on this platform, and have a serious conversation about it. So I appreciate that. And I do appreciate it as 2 Caucasian males to show support for this is also super important. So that's appreciative too. Those are the allies that we need amongst everybody else. But, let's be real, white males are the most privileged, and with those with the most privilege, hopefully you guys can be the ones who can help as well. We need everybody on board to help with this. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. And Mike, everything you said, I appreciate that too. And yeah, it's devastating. And you talked about, them not having their mom or their dad or their uncle or their sister or their daughter anymore. And that is what really kills me, any of them who have children. And also, I work on a very spiritual level, on soul level and whatnot. And so I think I was feeling a lot of the heavy energy last night. And, oh man, I almost just lost my train of thought just because I'm like, I don't even know. But yeah, I was thinking about their souls and their last moments and how traumatizing and shocking that might have been for them, and so I just really prayed for their souls and their families, because it's not a way to go.
Yeah.
No.
Let's bring in Jess, because Jess is now standing by. So I'm going to bring in Jess into our room again, owner of Chindian Boutique, which is out in California, and friend of the show through our friend Miss Theo. Have a chance to talk to Jess, and what I want to try to do, Jess, is have you join on camera if you can. If not, audio only is fine, and we'll just try to have the best connection we can, since we're using Discord for the first time, and want to try to make sure that this works as well as it possibly can on this day. So I'm just making sure that everyone can see you and hear you. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you guys. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Let me see. Okay, perfect right there. And then I'm going to do this. All right. So Jess is the owner of Chindian Boutique, Chindian Boutique, which is on Instagram. Chindian Boutique is the handle. And, the initial thought, Jess, was to have you come on and talk about what you're specifically focusing on in the month of March. But given the circumstances and what's happened in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, we kind of just open things up in general. What's going through your mind? What are your thoughts as you join us today on the show?
Yeah, I mean, I think like any other act of violence in general, it's really devastating to hear what happened. And not that Atlanta is an isolated incident, but that this has been going on more and more and been picked up more and more. And I think the most frustrating part of it all is that I get most of my updates on what's happening through social media. It's not being picked up in the general news. So I have this sort of sense of, just feeling all the feels with the Black Lives Matter movement and how awesome it is that it's being addressed and picked up by the media. And now similar things are happening in the Asian American community, and it's kind of like crickets from the general mass media. So, I think a part of why I'm so excited to be, well, excited is kind of a funny word to describe that, but excited to be talking to you guys is just to bring some light to what's happening and to maybe try to find some solutions to what's going on.
And we appreciate you doing that and giving us some space today to have the opportunity to put some light on this. One thing I've said about the platform of Gaming Morning Show is it is not a big platform. We are not CNN. We are not Fox News. We are not a very big megaphone that gets millions of eyeballs, right? But at the end of the day, we are a platform. And if we establish that when you join GMS, we're willing to have conversations like this and what is generally an entertainment show, I think is a valuable thing. And allyship has been going through my mind for a very long time, because in the course of the pandemic, I have found a lot of time to look for things that I should have been looking for my whole life. I'll give you a perfect example, okay? Mike was talking about earlier today how it's St. Patrick's Day and it's a moment to celebrate a heritage. One other type of annual celebration is one's birthday, right? My birthday is June 19th. And for the first 36 years of my life, I had no clue what Juneteenth was. And the fact that my birthday shared such a significant moment in time for Black people. And the fact that I could not have figured that out before 36 years is in part ignorance on my end, not seeking out information, not trying to find something additional. But it's also a failure of a system where that should have been a default lesson for every single person in this country, in the United States, to be specific. And so when we had Asia MPL on the show, who was holding a fundraiser specifically for the NAACP for the purpose of supporting Asian Americans and the hate crimes that are happening because of COVID-19, it was, again, kind of news to me, right? And that's to your point, Jess. It shouldn't be that way. These should be the things that are getting told, the stories that are getting told all the time. And so if Gaming Morning Show and GMS can be a small part of that, then that's good, but it's not gonna fix things. So as we discuss ways to support, ways to be allies, Pib just described in our chat, as a Black woman with Asian family members, I feel for this. I'm terrified for my sister and my nieces and nephews. What are some of your thoughts on how people can best support and be allies?
I think the first is be educated. To your point, I don't think that 36 years is too late. I do think that there's probably a systemic thing that goes on, what you learn in school and all that growing up. But be educated and be aware of what's going on. I think for me, and even so, I'm a new mom. I work a full-time job and I'm trying to run a Chindian boutique. So my bandwidth for reading the news on a daily basis isn't great. So I was also late to the game in trying to understand the magnitude of what's going on within the Asian American community. So I started being really specific with, whether it's via Instagram or newsletters that I subscribe to that really, really focus on these issues that are important to me. And so, one suggestion, if you want to stay up to date on news around the Asian American community, Next Shark. Their handle is also at Next Shark, and they also have a online platform, which is great. The news is focused just around Asian American things that are happening. It could be anything in entertainment, all the way through the violence that's happening. That's a really great one that I've been just keeping a pulse on to be updated, and that's also who broke the news to me about the what happened in Atlanta. And then starting to subscribe to newsletters on organizations that do put out more information and ways to help. So another example, there's a coalition of organizations that band together. They put together a Stop AAPI Hate group that's really meant to be a resource for the Asian American community to report crimes, to help, bring resources to people that, especially elderly Asian people, that are the ones that are being targeted the most. And that would be another sort of example of a way that you can either donate to or just subscribe to their newsletter just to keep up to date on what's going on. But yeah, I think education is sort of the top priority. And then I think other ways too that you can help is just to say something when you see something. I mean, I think the saddest part about hearing what's going on in the Asian American community is that the elderly are targeted. And the way, I won't call it a hierarchy necessarily, but like there's so much respect in the Asian American community for your elders. I mean, even in the way that you address them, there's a hierarchy and all of that. And that is really sad. And so I think as much as possible, if you're out walking around, especially if you're in like a city like New York or Brooklyn, is just keep an eye out for people that might need your help. This is the case for anybody who's under attack, but I think, just speaking from the what's going on in the Asian American community. And then if you are able to, donate to organizations like Asian Americans Advancing Justice that are specifically there, again, as a resource for the Asian American community. That I think that those three things are the top for me and what I've been trying to put into practice the most on my end.
Theo, what do you want to add?
Say when you see an Asian person, send them some love. Even if they don't know it or not, just send them some love because you're emanating positive vibrations and healing love to them. So just send the love, even if, just doing it from your mind through your heart, that's totally good enough. And also if there are businesses around or communities that you want to support in your local city or town, do that. I mean, Jess right here, we originally were bringing her on for a Chindian boutique, which I know we haven't even talked about yet, but Jess, if you could talk a little bit about, what you've been doing with the Chindian boutique, why you started it, and what you're doing so far in terms of raising money for Stop Asian Hate.
Yeah, so I can get into it briefly, but mostly want to focus on what we're doing for the month of March, and I think too maybe for the foreseeable future as it would allow me. But a Chindian boutique actually started with an environmental inspiration. And so, my husband and I, when we were thinking about ways to give back to our community, his passion really lied with children and education. And my passion was around homelessness, especially in Los Angeles. And we, I think, had a desire to try to do something together to give back to the community. So we went back to the drawing board, and what it came down to was, there wouldn't be the issue of homelessness or children's education unless there was an earth to live on. And so that became sort of the basis for all the decisions that we started making. It's to leave the world a better place for our daughter. And so we made a lot of changes to our life. We started volunteering very heavily with the Sierra Club, especially our local chapter. And that's when Chindian Boutique sort of started. We see how much waste goes on with clothing, especially, right? And it's not just in the, you buy the clothes, you use it once, and then you throw it away. There's obviously that issue with that. We call that fast fashion. But there's also the issue with when you buy new, every single time you buy new, there were resources that went into creating that piece of clothing. And there were also resources used to ship it, to pack it up, in the bag that you use to bring it home. And all of those resources required elements of the earth to put together and bring to your doorstep. And so the idea of buying secondhand became more and more appealing to us. And I think, growing up, it was out of thriftiness that my parents bought a secondhand source. That, and when you're a kid, you wear something for 3 months and all of a sudden you grow out of it. So there's no point in buying a lot of things new. But there was this idea that thriftiness was kind of icky, and you were buying things that were used or, that had stains on it, or that, just might not be in great condition. But there is a lot of ways to make that easier. And so what the genesis of a Chindian boutique is to really bring a new thought to thrifting or to buying secondhand. And the way that we sort of see it is, if it could be a little more curated and high quality, so lightly used, goods, and in a very sort of either fashionable or in a modeled way, then maybe that would entice people to think a little bit differently about buying secondhand. So, what we're doing for the month of March is through very generous donations from friends that Theo and I both know, is we're donating all of the proceeds for March and then likely through the next few months to organizations like Stop AAPI Hate and AAJC. So feel free to take a look. It's at Chindian Boutique. It's only on Instagram. We're doing everything through that platform, purchasing and posting all of our products up. But also don't feel like you have to. That's the only way to give back. If you want to donate directly to those organizations too, feel free. But yeah, our goal really is to right now just raise money to support the community.
Jess, thank you for giving us some space, giving us some time on Gaming Morning Show to talk about this. I will keep you in my thoughts during the course of the day. Honestly, it looks like chat will too. It's going to take all of us together, but I had this discussion with my friend. As sad as I am that I don't know if I'll see the full effects of hopefulness that this change is going to happen, I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime to the degree that I really want in my mind. But that shouldn't deter us from stopping to have these conversations and make it a point of emphasis. This is a culture shift, an entertainment show that stops what the hell it's doing to talk about something real. Honestly, to an audience, if I was framing this in the old radio ways, this can be awkward, but we don't care. We want to have these discussions because it is worthwhile, as opposed to worrying about programming or viewership counts or anything like that. The good news is, though, is so far those who tune in GMS have seemed to be super receptive to these conversations, and I'm grateful for that, just as I am grateful that you take the time to join us this morning. Let's have you back. We'll keep you in our thoughts throughout the course of the day and this week, and we will look into how we can also help with the work that you're doing with the boutique. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. That's Jess Chow joining us on Gaming Morning Show. We are talking about Stop Asian Hate, which is a trending hashtag this morning, and in part because of some horrific events that happened in the Atlanta area. On your screen in just a moment is going to be Theo and Mike O. I am Ryan. Thanks for joining us on Gaming Morning Show. Theo has been hosting with us, now 3 of the last 4 weeks, I want to say. And Mike, of course, has been the staple of the show since basically its beginning. And I appreciate you both being willing to talk about these things in this space. Jess mentioned some resources, and I want to be able to put some links out there. Any other thoughts from either of you two in terms of support, whether it's monetary or ways that we can help spread information? Because that seems to be a shortfall in this discussion, is the spread of information about exactly what's happening to the Asian American community.
Absolutely. If it's true what Jess said, unfortunately, the way I saw it is these crimes are happening for a very long time, but unfortunately it takes something so devastating like this for it to actually get national news, which is frustrating and ridiculous. So I would just say, if you're listening to this, watching this, if you could just spread the word, amongst your local community, your friends, your family. That's where it really begins first, number one, within you, right? Because if that's not there yet, let's not even go further than anybody else. Let's start with you. Is there love or hate in your heart? And then start talking and start educating. If even people don't agree with you, that's okay. At least just put it out there. It might plant a tiny little seed in their head that one day it might click and make sense. So just communicate, just spread love, show love, reach out to people who maybe Asian communities that maybe you never thought about interacting with before. Unite us. I know we can all do it.
And honestly, social media is a big part of it too, where, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's just a hashtag. But honestly, that's probably one of the best ways to get traction and to get it out there is to, and not even just doing it yourself. If you see someone else who's, I don't want to say a celebrity, but someone who has a large following, if they tweet a hashtag about, stop violence, retweet that. because then that's going to go out a little bit further and really, really spread that. So, I mean, like Ryan said, I mean, we're a small show. We get, maybe 15 to 20 viewers a show. And we're not going to change the world by any means, but we're all pieces. It's kind of like a puzzle. We're all little pieces of the puzzle. And you just got to fit where you can and do what you can. And that's, Theo, you hit the nail on the head. It starts with you. Have love in your heart, spread love, give positive vibes. Just do what you can, because love is love, and whether it's huge or tiny, it's gonna get out there. So just, treat people with respect, treat people with love, support them, do what you can. Just be a good person, and that's where it starts. So it starts with you, and then it can grow from there. So that's the big thing.
Pib, I hope you have a good day at work, and absolutely thank you for being part of the conversation. Thank you for being here, because as Mike pointed out, when you have anyone who's joining you, that's an audience, right? And so as your audience can spread the word, that's really how change happens. We've discussed coming from a place of privilege as a white male, and I've always discounted that retweet, right? And then I've listened and heard from underrepresented, marginalized communities that does make a difference. It is not the only thing you should do, but it does make a difference. And I had never thought of it that way, because for some reason on social media, I've always been fairly reserved, especially prior to doing GMS. Like, I haven't wanted, I like to put the spotlight on other people. That's why I like sitting in a hosting chair, because I get to ask you a question. I get to itch my curiosity by asking you to give me some information, and I can just kind of step back and not put the focus on myself. It's why I was a horrible talk show host, to be completely honest with you. But the intentionality of it is also what matters too, is taking the time to seek out more information. And I have, even for the most skeptical people in my life, because coming from a vast majority white and rural community, whenever I have discussions with folks from that kind of space, I try to even say, hey, I understand that I'm not going to get through to you today, but if even half of what I'm saying is true, and that's not the case, a lot of times it might be 100%, right? But just for the benefit of the doubt, what if even half of what I'm saying is true, right? Isn't that a big deal still, right? And so that 50% truth thing has been able to kind of guide that intentionality of looking into resources and trying to figure out exactly what's happened. Like in parts of Oregon, which Oregon has a tremendously racist history, to the point where you couldn't buy land if you were not white, right? That's a significant thing. In areas of the state that I've lived in, there have been laws or terms and conditions even that prohibit people who are not white from buying property or owning a deed to a property as recently as 1975. That is within a decade of my lifetime. That's not insignificant. It means also that it was within my parents' lifetime, right? So just think about those kind of situations where you have to have the curiosity to seek out some of the things that are going on in the world beyond just what's in your, immediate radius, right? Because if that's the case, I don't think we're going to grow as a space, as a society. So it's true. You have to seek this information out, and if GMS can be a small catalyst for that, then that's a win as well.
Absolutely. And as Mike had said earlier, no matter how big or small, and you said, yes, maybe you don't have a large amount of people watching, but this makes such a huge impact, just this little piece right here. So everybody who's watching, if you feel like you can't make a difference, the truth is you can. And that's how we can make change, is if all of us believe that we can make change.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I will give you a couple of stats that I had ready to kind of highlight the specific situation that the Asian American community is going through, because this is, again, part of the gap between what I feel like we think we know and what is actually true. Hate against Asian Americans related to the pandemic. Since COVID-19, the pandemic began, which is in the United States, for some reason, March 13th sticks out to me, but we can more broadly, categorize it somewhere between February and March of 2020, right? Anti-Asian hate crimes have increased by 1,900% in the United States. Nearly 2,000 reports of anti-Asian hate incidents in over 47 states and the District of Columbia, and 7.3% of the reports counted the most vulnerable, elderly Asians, which we just talked about earlier, as the victims. And this is an important thing, too, that goes back to almost even my half-truth point, is we're discussing statistics that go around what has been reported. Jess's Instagram, where I got this information, had a very good point that any of these crimes are based on what's reported. Some go unreported. Or it's a classification thing, too, right? I mean, I get it. We have to have organization to the way that things happen, right? So you have to put it in some sort of category. It may be out of the hate crime category, but for all intent and purposes, it was an act of hate, right? Not significant, because we're talking about a 1,900% increase in something statistically. And again, even if that was half true, right? Even if that was half true, 1,000% is a very significant number.
Mm-hmm. And it's very frustrating because of the fact. I mean, you see, I mean, there's obvious systemic racism in our country. So I mean, you have a very valid point there about how many go unreported or how many are reported as like disturbing the peace. Or I know that there's a lot of resistance to reporting things as a hate crime, and they try to make this tiny little box that you have to check all these little things in this tiny little box for it to be a hate crime. When I guarantee if you just looked at it on its end, you would see that it's guided more in hate than just being a random act, But we really, really want to kind of keyhole and be like, look, we're a great society. We don't have hate. It just so happens that this white man targeted these Asian massage parlors, that are owned by Asian Americans. It's a coincidence. He wasn't targeting anybody. And I guarantee right now on the internet that argument is being made, when we can all sit there and say, like, look, no, the dude targeted people for their race. Like, end of story. I mean, it goes back to like Matthew Shepard. People are like, oh, well, he wasn't targeted because he's gay. He obviously did something wrong. Like, nope. No, he was targeted because he was gay. Like, let's call a spade here. And it's super, super frustrating because, I mean, if we could get to the root of the issue, then we could start to solve it. But when there's this big blue ball around the root, it becomes impossible to penetrate.
And I don't know about you guys, but maybe like 5-7 years ago, I wasn't as paying attention to like policies as much, or local politics or even community stuff, Oh my goodness. Like, that's the system. If we want it to change, we have to start getting involved, I mean, and I'm saying me, including myself. I mean, because it's very easy for us to just, live our life, do our thing, they got it. Politicians, they got it, they're good. But they don't all got it. Okay. So, getting involved in your local communities and just educating yourself and choosing or voting for people to go in office with beliefs that you believe in. I think a lot of the times we're just like, oh, we'll just vote for the president and that's it. Right? Like,
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, we don't vote when our local elections happen. And so we could. Does that mean that we just? And it kind of goes to show that like we just don't. I don't want to say care, but
that's exactly what it is. My wife wasn't registered until this last election, because she was one of the folks that always said, my vote doesn't matter. I mean, the president's, like, I live in Indiana, so for us the presidential vote didn't matter. We knew which way it was going to go. But for the first time in 2 decades, we had local city council seats go to the Democratic Party instead of the Republican. I'm like in the reddest of the red, and it's because of exactly what you said. People took a call to action, and they cared, and we helped other people care. And it shouldn't be a fact where you're voting for a party. I'm huge on. I think we should abolish the two-party system, and it should be based on you. Like, if you're a scumbag, I do not want you in office. If you're a good person with a kind heart, please. But I mean, I think up until like a decade ago, no one really paid attention to politics. Actually, no, I guess 2008 really. When, you know, a horrible black man took office and suddenly everyone cared. You're like, no, like, how is that? That makes no sense. And that was really when a lot of people started taking notice that, hey, maybe politics is really corrupt. And there's a lot of issues. You have this amazing human being as the president, and all we can focus on is his skin color. Like, what? Like, was he the greatest president ever? No, but he was one hell of a human being. And that is something that gets lost a lot. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Thea.
Oh gosh, not at all. Please, no. I love your input, and yeah, you're right. Just the concept that like we're literally, like killing people over the color. It's the what? We're made of the same thing. It's and Ryan, what you were saying earlier about, you know, how the Oregon housing laws. What? Oh my goodness. It's like almost embarrassing to be a human sometimes.
Honestly, for me, it's almost really embarrassing to be an American. And not just because the jackass that was there the last 4 years, but because of the fact that we still have archaic laws in the most free country in the world that don't allow women to do things, that don't allow people of color to do things, that don't allow, you know, this and that and this and this and this. And you're like, are you freaking serious? 2021. And there are laws that just changed about, you know, I mean, like Ryan said, I mean, how long ago was it that, you know, to own property, you had to be like, huh? And there's still laws like that. I mean, all these voter suppression laws that are coming into play in places. It's 2021. We live in a democracy. We should be open everything. Like if you want to vote, you should be able to vote. It shouldn't matter where you live, what your economic status is. You shouldn't have to lose a day's pay to do it. You should. I mean, there's so much that it just honestly it feels like we're going backward. And last night's events are horrible. Like, we should not be at a point in our history as a country. I mean, in a way, it's kind of ironic that this stuff happened on the eve of St. Patrick's Day. Because, like, when the Irish first came to America, they were treated disgusting. And they were targeted like crazy because simply of they spoke weird and they came from another place. And that, it just baffles me that anyone in history could do that. And to see this happen, you're like, have we not learned anything in 200 years?
Oh my goodness.
Seriously. And that's just as us. That's as us as a nation. I mean, historically, worldwide, you know, it's been ridiculous. And the fact to say, like, oh, anyone's worth less than I am because I happen to be a white guy is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. Like, it's just, it makes me so incredibly angry and very, very frustrated.
This is Gaming Morning Show. That is Theo, Mike. I am Ryan. We're discussing Stop Asian Hate, and was a planned conversation around a friend of the show, Jess Chow, to talk about a boutique that she runs specifically in the month of March, where proceeds are going to NGOs with the purpose of supporting Asian American communities. You can find more about Jess's boutique. Go to Achindian Boutique on Instagram. That is how you can purchase and support the boutique. But then, of course, this coincided yesterday. 8 people killed in shootings at 3 different Atlanta area spas. A suspect has been taken into custody in connection with one of the shootings, and the Atlanta police said it is, quote-unquote, extremely likely he is also the suspect in the 2 other shootings. This is according to CBS News. And I bring this up because we want to keep you in tune with why we're talking about this right now. Also, we are 3 Americans, and this has been a very, or at least majority, American-focused conversation. So for our international audience, Snufkin, I see you here. as an example. This is something too that if you have any input on how we can look at this from a worldwide scale, because even outside of the last 4 years, if you look specifically at how American policy on a global scale impacts the world, that's a whole different type of conversation. Bombings, the amount of people who die at the hands of Americans. And if you looked at that specifically, right, at humanity, and you didn't do anything else but just say, how are humans treating humans, this becomes a whole different topic too. So I don't think that's something that we can unpack in the next 5 minutes as we go into a break. But what we can do is continue to have this conversation going. Lady K saying America was literally founded by immigrants. The Native Americans are the only ones that would potentially have the right to claim to be true American. The British, the Spanish, the French, and all other races there originated from immigrants. Snufkin saying, I get so freaking tired when hearing about dumb crap like that. Hating on someone because of their heritage or level of melatonin is just slapworthy. And so we've had discussion this morning, Chrissy pointing out voter suppression on the heels of what Mike talked about, how education, action, and getting involved in small ways can definitely have an impact. And from an allyship standpoint, one thing that I've noticed too is just the amount of financial support that my family has contributed to causes that we have otherwise never even thought of prior to the last 12 months. And that is, for me, really hard because I feel like it's a sad thing. But at the same time, that's also part of progress, right? And so by being able to accomplish that and being mindful of that and how we can support in times where we are in a good position, that's a big deal. And when you're not, that's also fine. How can you do it outside of monetary contributions too? And that's been part of this discussion this morning. Let's take a break. We're going to come back with our 8 o'clock hour. We'll have a little bit more of what you tune into GMS for day in and day out. But at the same time, we're holding space. Not everyone's okay today. Theo's not okay today. I'm not okay today. Okay, people in this world are hurting. And so with that said, let's continue to figure out how we can support one another when we come back on Gaming Morning Show. It's 7:55 on the West Coast, 10:55 on the East, 2:56 in the UK. Thanks for joining us. It's Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. We'll be right back. All right, Gaming Morning Show continues. It is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. We've shared some resources in the chat this morning. Jessica's Boutique, you can find that link through Instagram. We've also been sharing links for bystander intervention. The link that we found earlier was from Marquette, which is a university in the U.S. It was specifically linking out to other resources, but if you search for bystander intervention, a lot of the techniques that might be used for sexual harassment intervention can be used in situations like we were discussing with racial issues. This is coming up because in Atlanta yesterday, 8 people killed in shootings at 3 different Atlanta area spas. There's a suspect in custody, and according to Time, there is definitely reason to believe that these could be potentially hate crime related. The quote, "The killings came amid a recent wave of attacks against Asian Americans that coincided with the spread of the coronavirus across the United States. There were 8 people killed, as I mentioned, many of them Asian women, in shootings across 3 different Atlanta parlors, Atlanta spas. 1900% is the increase. The statistic, anti-Asian hate crimes have increased by 1900% in the United States. We had our guest, Jessica Chow. Our host today is Miss Theo and Mike. We are together again for the final hour, and what we're going to do is we're going to have an opportunity to thank Miss Theo for being here, spending time with us this morning in circumstances that we wish were not. We want you to have the space that you need, Theo, and so I think we are more than happy to appreciate that you were willing to be with us this morning, even though it might be tough to be here this morning. So with that, let's let you go cope. We are here for you. Let us know what we can do, and then I think it would be great if you're willing to provide us, from a Reiki perspective, some of your areas of expertise, maybe a healing exercise or something. Is that something you'd be open to doing?
Absolutely. And thank you again, you guys. So grateful just to be here and talk about this and have this conversation with everybody on chat as well. So yeah, I think we can all use a little bit of like healing and love right now. So why don't we just all close our eyes, take some deep breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. Wherever you may be right now, just give yourself these few minutes. Inhale again and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful beam of golden light coming from up above, pouring into the top of your head, which is your crown, connecting yourself to your higher self, allowing that light to flow down from the top of your head, down your face and your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back, the sides of your bodies, your legs, your knees, your shins, your ankles to your feet. Allowing that light to just pour over you, sending love and warmth to areas of your body and areas of your energetic field, your soul, your aura that need some extra tending, loving care today. And maybe that's your heart. Next thing we're going to do is now grab that light from up above you and bring it down to your heart. Putting both of those hands onto your heart, shooting that loving light into your heart, knowing that whatever pain you may be experiencing right now, you can get through. And that we're all in pain. We're all suffering in our own ways, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, politically, socially, all of that. Whatever is hurting you in this moment, let's pour love into that. And know that we are better than this. We are greater than this. We're more powerful than this, and that we're meant to spread love on this earth. And as you pour that love into yourself, go ahead and take your hands and put them both up as if you're facing the cameras. Sending that light and love back out to the world. Let's start with just whatever room you're in, emanating that light like a sphere of light around you. Pushing that light further beyond your room, beyond your apartment or your home or wherever you are, beyond your neighborhood, the streets of your city, beyond your city, your state, the whole country, beyond the whole world and this whole earth, the galaxies, sending that loving vibration out to everything, every being, every human, and then bringing that love right back deep. And with that, I just encourage you guys to lead with love within yourself, within your family, your friends, within your workplace, and toward anybody that you come in contact with from this day forth. And with that, I leave you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Theo. Love you. Appreciate you being here this morning.
Love you guys.
That's Miss
Thank
Theo.
you guys.
You can find Miss Theo, I am Miss Theo, on Instagram. More of the great work that she's doing, and appreciate you being here this morning. It is now 8:09 on the West Coast, 11:09 on the East Coast. It is 3:09 for those watching in the UK. Thank you so much for being with us this morning on Gaming Morning Show. We've had worthwhile discussions this morning for sure. Good conversation, good chance to put some things into perspective on what started out as, St. Patrick's Day, and now we've had a chance to discuss some of the real things that are happening in the world, and I think that is okay. And I totally get how Theo is not too interested in sticking around for what would otherwise be a regular show of ours. I am so eager to have Theo back when it is a different day. As Michael, appreciate you for everything that you said, everything you contributed to the conversation, the 7 o'clock hour. We are truly lucky to have you be part of our show. Thank you.
Yo.
Talking to you.
Sorry, I hear music, so it's all good.
Then just listen to this music.
I
It's good. Is that better?
yeah, it's
How's
great.
that? How are we doing there? Is that really good? Is
As-
it really
as-
loud now?
You're super loud. I love it.
All right.
But yeah, so I was very bummed because I knew this morning. I didn't know if Theo was gonna be on the show. When first, I was super excited for 2 reasons today. One, I got to do a Wednesday on St. Patrick's Day. I never get to do Wednesdays. And my office had a planned power outage, so all of our meetings were canceled because Wednesday is my grown up day, where I have to be in the office from like 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. because we have like 4 meetings, and I do this and I do that, but obviously can't do that today. So I was like, yes, I get to do that. And then last night Ryan was like, Theo's gonna be there, and I was like, yeah, finally, I get to co-host with Theo because Theo's energy is just so incredible. And I absolutely adore Theo. So I was like, yes. And then this morning I woke up and saw this and was like, no. And I knew, I don't know if it was just like a feeling, but I knew it affected Theo. And so I'm just grateful that I got to spend an hour with her.
Yeah.
So that was really, really phenomenal. And I am so happy that we got to do that. For the last hour. This is obviously a show where I usually say stupid things and make everyone laugh, and that's what I do. But this is just something that's so important in my personal life. I'm a fairly political person, just based around the premise that I'm sick of hatred and I'm sick of intolerance. And I'm sick of all the nonsense that happens in the world, especially in the U.S., because, 1% of the population of our country decides everything. And unfortunately, in that 1%, there are very few minorities that are represented. It's largely people that look like me. I mean, not as handsome as me, but, generally speaking.
Few are, Mike. Few are. So
it's true. I'm in an elite level of handsomeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but
absurd.
it's so baffling to me that like this exists. And like I said, as a kid, I grew up in a predominantly African American city. I mean, I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I was targeted in a drive-by when I was 7 because I was white. And that was one little tiny incident. I can't imagine constantly having to look around and wonder, am I going to be hit because my eyes aren't as wide as yours, or my skin's a little darker, or my hair isn't as lush and whatever? Like, it's stupid that's what we base it on. And as we were talking, I mean, I just like this. It kills me. We're a nation of immigrants. There's a reason we used to be called a melting pot. I mean, the Statue of Liberty, she has the poem. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless tempest, toss to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door."
Off the top of your head.
Oh, no, I Googled it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what? But like, come here. We're a melting pot. We love everybody. But as long as you're white. Like the fine writing underneath that was if you're white. If you're not white, if you're not white, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's just stupid. So I'm really glad we had a chance to talk about that.
And chat, I'm grateful that you are so welcoming to Theo, not only specifically around the Asian American conversation, but just in general. The last 3 or 4 weeks she's been on the show. And Theo's a very close friend of mine. There's a few people in my life where I'll go months, if not years, between talking with, and it feels like nothing's changed. And Theo is definitely one of those. And I've never had a chance to even speak with Jess, let alone meet Jess. Theo can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is Theo met Jess down in Southern California, and I've never even met Theo's. Like, I've never been to Southern California to talk to Theo since she moved down there. And I've always admired the relationships that Theo has built since moving down to Southern California, and I admire being able to build friendships, across races and across identities, right? And one of my good friends, Claudia, talks to me a lot about intersectionality, and that's a whole different discussion too, chat, that we could have. But I think if we focus on that message of kindness and love, that's a good way to at least steer the ship, even if you're going to make mistakes along the way. And that's the kind of conversation I felt like we had this morning. But we are mindful. Keep a lot of people in your thoughts today, especially, as Pib mentioned with some of her relatives earlier in the show in chat. As Jess talked about, people are afraid to be walking out in public right now because of what's happening. It might not even be moments that
2021.
What's that?
In 2021.
Well, it might not even be in areas that have had any sort of, an event happen, right? Like these 8 people that were killed were in the Atlanta area. But people are afraid in other parts of the world, let alone the country, because of what is happening, right? And that's a big deal. I bring all of that up to say, if you lead with love, I think we will be in a better place as a society. Also, the pandemic has taught me a lot about what I'm really good at, and one of those things is not running toward the fire. There are a lot of people who are really good at running toward the fire and helping in crisis, and my inclination is to go back into the nonsensical. That's why I chose sports primarily as my living, right? Because I was good in the things that at the end of the day really don't matter. I'm good at entertainment. I'm good at lightening people's load and distracting them from the real world for, in this case, 3 hours. That's what I learned how to do. But conversations, especially those that are uncomfortable, tend to be those that lead toward growth, right? And the good news is, over the last 12 months, I've had more uncomfortable conversations than I probably had in a long time, if not ever. The last hour wasn't uncomfortable for me, right?
Oh, no, not at all. It was amazing.
And that's a sign of progress, right? And chat, y'all hung around. Like,
yeah, I've honestly thought the numbers would go down, but they went up.
Well, just the amount of engagement, like the people talking. Like Emo Kid Mark, thank you for saying something to Theo. Curry's been around for the whole entire time. I get the impression Pib would have stuck around if Pib didn't have to go to work, right? Snuffkin, like you said,
Chrissy.
the Snuffkin. Where did you say it? Like, I woke up this morning and didn't expect to have a serious conversation, but I'm happy that we did, right? Like, that's a good thing. Kiki, sorry that I missed most of it, but glad you're discussing it. Tough conversations are needed and nothing will ever change. And the norm in a platform like this is to not address them because, again, we're an entertainment show, right? Let's only talk about entertainment. But I think the nice thing about our group that is hanging out with us day in and day out, we tried to make this community where we are a radio show that plays games, is you'll stick with us during that hour, and you'll stick with us as we segue into this hour. So I am very thankful to you, chat, for hanging out with us and talking this morning. It means a lot to me.
Y'all are great.
Y'all are great.
I love you. Just share your Pop-Tarts, people. That will make everything better. Just share your Pop-Tarts.
I'd like to teach the world to eat a Pop-Tart with you and me.
Well, it's funny. Chrissy said the change starts with us, and it really does. And that reminded me, off the top of my head, I do know this for a fact. Chief Seattle said, "We did not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children." I mean, that's spot on. That's exactly what it is. What we do and how we act and react to things frames the future. And it frames things for our kids. It frames things for our friends and our family, and just everything. We're here to shape the world, And unfortunately, what we do today isn't for us. It's for the next. It's for those who come behind us. So it's just really important to do that. And it's super important knowing that sometimes real things happen. Like when the insurrection happened, like that was something that needed to be addressed. This needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And granted, like I played Kind Words last night on stream, and one of the things I said was like, I am not good at serious.
Yeah.
Like when my mom died, I made like a smart aleck comment about how like this is the quietest she's ever been, and made my dad laugh because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's very good to have these conversations.
Well, and it's good to know that about yourself too, though. Self-awareness is huge, and because you know that about yourself, you understand that this is who you are, and you can embrace that, as opposed to feeling like, oh, I'm doing something that's wrong. You're not doing something that's wrong. You're being Mike, and that's important. So, I'm happy about that.
I just want to dispute real quick. The emo kid Mark, he said there's a small percentage of us humans who actually respect each other no matter who you are. I'm actually gonna say I disagree with that. I think that there are a large percentage of people who care about each other. Unfortunately, the minority number in this, not minority people, but the smaller percentage of people are just the ones that are the loudest and do the heinous nonsense like this coward, this piece of human trash. Unfortunately, they're the ones that act. Whereas I love all of you. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, whatever you are. And that's just for, I don't know the political parties worldwide, but I don't care. I know you all and I love you. You're all amazing. But there's way more of us than there are of them. The problem is we just quietly treat each other with respect and interact with each other. Those buttholes are the ones that make all the noise. They're the ones that screw that's why we can't have nice things. It's the one kid, you buy a really sweet set of Legos and 10 of you play with it nicely, and then here comes little Ryan like, I'm Godzilla, and smashes it all up.
Had to be me.
Obviously this is a little more serious than smashing Legos, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, we need to be the ones to overshadow the ones that are filled with hate. There's much more love than there is hate. The hate just happens to be bigger. So, spread love, be freaking awesome, and do what we can.
It's also a discussion of power, too, right? Who's in positions of power. Mm-hmm. And that's where, Theo talked about earlier, policies that are on the books, things that are put there in place by people in positions of power, and that's where that idea of local government, grassroots and those kind of things do have an impact. It is good to see Gonzo this morning. I also miss Mike's beautiful hair. We'll have to figure out how to get that back on a more routine basis. Back eventually. But it is great to see everybody.
Welcome in, Final Hour crew.
Sushi's joined us as well this morning. Mark, I appreciate you hanging out with us for the vast majority of the show. Chris M.E. has shown up.
Mayor of the Internet.
Truth. Sushi here, as I mentioned, Dr. Chick Kakuri's been with us. And Chrissy, it's so great to see you for the first time in a very long time. I'm so happy that you were able to join us on this Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. We told you about some birthdays earlier today. Patrick Duffy, Rob Lowe have a birthday, among others. Sonic Drift 2 came out this date for the Game Gear 95. There were Pokemon games. Some were Ruby and some were Sapphire. Still don't understand how that works. That was 03. Let's see what else came out. Ghost Recon Wildlands came out this date 4 years ago.
That game was so amazing. And then they just pooped on it and stopped doing things. You're like, all right, well, you beat it, and then that was the end.
My best advice for you, Chaz, don't poop on your video games, okay?
Do not poop, especially on the consoles, because then it gets in the holes, and that's not good.
King of the Hill got some attention earlier today. We mentioned that apparently there's quote-unquote hot negotiations to have some sort of revival with it, according to Cass Clark of CBR.com. I don't know if, again, I need to have a King of the Hill reboot, but it might show up whether I want it or not.
I will say the one thing that really I like about the idea of the King of the Hill reboot is what it sounds like is it's going to happen 15 years later. I like that as opposed to celebrating Bart Simpson's 10th birthday for the 35th time. So I think it's cool that they're going to acknowledge that, time exists. So I'm interested to see Bobby 15 years later. See if he ever figured it, if he ever put it together.
What is time?
What is who are you? Who are you?
So how soon do you think this might happen? Did it say in the story?
It did not. It's so basically, what is his name? Brent Forrester, who was one of the producers on the show. He is also a producer on The Office. He was just talking. He was doing an AMA on Reddit, which is an Ask Me Anything, and he said that he's going to get murdered for sharing this, which is probably a terrible analogy in this moment. However, he's like, it's like Tom Holland, where Tom Holland doesn't understand how to not spoil movies to the point now I'm pretty sure the Marvel higher ups don't allow, they don't tell him anything. Which I think is hilarious because, he's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
But they don't tell him what happens in movies because they know he's going to screw it up.
Isn't Spider-Man the one with the whole, with great power comes great responsibility? Isn't that from Spider-Man?
Yep.
And here's Tom Holland playing Spider-Man, getting great responsibility, or not doing great responsibility with the power that he has, knowing what's happening.
Yeah. So, he just said that it was something that they've talked about, that they were hot and heavy in discussions, and that they plan on hopefully sometime in the not too distant future making it happen.
It is a thing, Snufkin. There's definitely a live action Powerpuff Girls remake coming, and we already know the cast. We talked about it the other day, and somehow, some way, that got me into very soon potentially cosplaying Mojo Jojo. So I just gotta find my inner character in a costume. So gotta figure that. Yeah.
Double fame. I don't know what that means.
We're going to play Don't Let the Person Floating from the Balloons Fall in the Monster's Mouth. Isn't that right, Bob?
Don't let the person hanging from the balloons fall into the monster's mouth.
Nailed it! So we want you to participate with you. Start guessing letters. You don't even need to see the puzzle. That's how we do it.
6Q49
On 32 set. Hut!
Hefty Jojo. Yes!
Hefty Jojo.
That's your new name.
Yeah. I've found out that Hefty is definitely the type of name that can fit really into almost anything. So I've been Hefty Goop. I've been a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah,
yeah, I could totally be Bubbles. Sorry, I have the wig. I'm in.
Wait, you have a wig of Bubbles?
I have a blonde wig.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's gonna show up on stream someday. All right, start guessing letters. We got books and movies. This is a 4 and 4. Whoops, wrong with
my copy. 62.
Let's see. We got an A from Kakuri. We got an E from Chrissy. We got another A from Axe. What did you finally do, Optimus? It's good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.
Hello, FHC.
R from Wage. Man, we are popping balloons like none other.
What?
All right, we got... Did someone guess John Wick? Man, Axe, you really like to just go for it. Connect 4. Trash bags 2. Just kidding.
Nope.
All right, what about O? Oh, hit. Gonzo got the first one.
What a Gonzo.
No. You made it after daylight savings. Oh, someone's going to go Lion King. Here we go. L. I just can't wait to give AJ Storm the credit for getting us one balloon. We've banked 24 over the course of 2 days. And now we are up to famous characters. Simba. It's a 4 and 5er.
Nope, that's not you.
E from Kakuri. R from Wage. Shaq O'Neal, of course. Always a Shaq. Your guesses are totally Shaq.
It's definitely Shaq.
It's not Shaq.
I would agree.
From Kiki. Kiki gets a hit.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Mike. Got a little kink in our plan here. I'll text you. Let's see. We got an S from Chrissy. We have an I from AJ.
I'll be right back. I think my dog is choking on something.
Okay. Good luck. SN from Snufkin. Do we know what it is, chat? John Wayne. F. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, someone's got to know this. Snow White. I'm with you. Snufkin was first in chat, and then Gonzo, Kakuri, and Wage followed closely. 2 more balloons. And now we go to official crayon colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 10 letters long, it looks like. A from X. I from AJ. It was definitely not John Wayne. Purple is probably an official color. I don't know if it's the answer to this riddle. O hit, though. Kakuri with double O. Congratulations, Optimus, for being here post Daylight Savings Time. It's proud. I'm proud to have you here. Final hour crew in the house. Dog okay? What's the dog report?
So you know how when the dog gets fixed, I thought that stopped their urges, but it doesn't. And my dog was violating one of my daughter's stuffed animals.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do we even have, Bob? I do a pretty good nice.
Nice. Come on, Bob.
Zesty.
I never knew Nutella was so erotic.
All right, Cornflower was the guest from Emo Kid Mark. I think that's going to be the winner for this one.
Cornflower?
That's an official crayon color. Who knew?
Okay.
3 balloons bank 29. We are just like a mere 60 some short of our. That doesn't fix their urges. Oh.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, he's never before.
What color is Cornflower?
Yellowy. And I only know that because Snufkin said that.
It's a yellowy thing.
Look, Shaq O'Neal sticks.
Frick.
Fits sticks.
Cornflower blue. See, that's what popped up on my phone. Corn?
Man, Snufkin.
Flower.
Killing me, man.
Yeah, it's a blue.
Yeah, that's what I said, blue.
I think I heard yellow.
Nope, definitely said blue.
Are you sure? I kind of heard yellow.
Oh, no, blue.
Are you eating your Pop-Tarts?
No. Maybe.
Think you're eating your Pop-Tarts. Are
He
they
was
delicious?
staring at me again.
Now, is this your first package or your second package?
First.
Mike. Mike.
Maybe the second
It's your second one, isn't it?
This is my lunch, so
It's
I had
true.
my breakfast before.
It's 11:30 on the East Coast. We got to give.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah,
give him
so.
some ability to eat his lunch. So, I like cherry Pop Tarts a lot.
According to Snufkin, Cornflower is now a TV show. Yeah.
Only difference between your Pop Tarts and my Pop Tarts is my Pop Tarts are empty.
Yeah. Give me like an hour.
But I got blueberry ones on the other side of this curtain. So.
Oh yeah, no. When these are gone, they're gone. I have to finish them before my wife gets home, or she'll punch me in the face.
I don't think you should have 4 Pop Tarts in this, 4 packages of Pop Tarts in the same day.
Oh, there's 2 more in there. You're right. I'm just gonna have to hide them.
I used to hide them from my kids, and then they're like, they came home yesterday and they go, "Hey, Dad, are we gonna get to try Pop Tarts?" I'm like, "No." They're Daddy's Pop Tarts.
How do kids know like when things show up? They know.
Oh, I have tried Pop Tart Bites. Anyone else tried Pop Tart Bites?
I like to bite my Pop-Tart.
Oh, the Pop-Tart bites are so good because they're itty bitty, but they have just like this caked on layer of frosting.
Well, that's kind of like the so Starburst has mini Starburst now, and they're unwrapped, so it's really easy to eat like 20 of, or like half a bag, and you're like, huh.
Oh, I got you. I got
Someone
you,
stole
Snuffkin.
them.
It's a very, very good question. You take the Pop-Tart.
Put it on a pancake. I am your pancake expert.
Our
Did you know?
Pop-Tarts calzones.
Gogeta. It's not funny.
I don't know. I mean, it is in the very same vein as a calzone. I mean, we know for a fact.
A calzone is not a pizza.
We know
Matt,
that.
I don't care what the wiki says. Kakuri, you haven't had a Pop-Tart? Where do you live, Kakuri? And can I have your address? I'm mailing you. I don't care if you can get them at the... What? Wait, hold on. I think we've addressed this with Kiki.
Kiki. Curry. You've never... Hey, look on the nutrition facts. What are they, about $4.40 per pack?
I'm not going to look.
Please look. I need to know. I already threw mine over my wall.
370s per... Oh, well, serving size is two pastries. So that's good,
Yeah,
right?
so 370. So you haven't had...
370.
You haven't had a good old-fashioned 370 calorie sugar fest?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you eat them for lunch and dinner, you're only at... Carry the one...
There's only 70 grams of
740.
carbs.
That's it.
Hey, it's got protein in it. That's all that matters. Even if it's only 3 grams, it's still protein.
They were all telling me chameleon, but I was below chimpanzee and centipede. So here I start typing HA, and all I'm doing is popping a ton of balloons. Chihuahua? It ends in an H. Can it?
Oh, man.
Can Chihuahua end in an H? Try you.
Chihuahua. No, it cannot.
Chinchilla? No,
It
because
also doesn't end in an H.
Good morning, maintaining mediocrity. Live your life, Mike. At least that's better than Chrissy's been doing. Chrissy's been coming in here being like, "You guys are talking about food, and I'm on Weight Watchers, and I hate you." So you know, we're making progress.
Chrissy.
Emo Kid Mark, 2 guesses. You are cracked.
Morning, maintaining mediocrity.
So here's what we're gonna do, chat. Is Mike has an Xbox and a PC. I have
to turn on my Xbox,
a PlayStation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play simultaneous Fall Guys. You won't see this on any other show. We're gonna play at the same time. The key is though, we're not gonna be in the same game. We're just gonna play simultaneously, and then if for some reason Mike outlasts me, which is probably gonna be the case because I'm horrible at Fall Guys, we'll just sit here and we'll have word pictures of what Mike's doing. But we're only doing this because I don't feel like playing Call of Duty or any other game that involves shooting people. So
No, yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat.
all right, here we go. We're going to play a wonderful game of Fall Guys. It's been a while since we played Fall Guys on this show because this is a horrible game and I'm horrible at it. So
Hold on, Chrissy, is me eating Pop-Tarts being chaotic? Because, I mean, usually tomorrow is the chaos day. Is Sean here for 3 hours tomorrow? Or does he have to do the big boy thing
tomorrow
again? Okay.
we finally have everyone back together for a Chaos Day. So
Yes.
all right, Chris, much like you coach Kiki in Apex Legends, you are now hired as my official... Oh, and it's Seesaw. First time I've played this game in 4 months, and I get Seesaw. Shocker, because, Seesaw is so awful. And what'd you get?
Dead batteries.
You didn't charge it. All right, there's Mike. He's getting up to get his batteries. All right, the reason I wear this toucan is because Toucan do it. Also, by the way, the looking version for the longest time is what... Oh, and we're off to a great start. All right. Yay, I'm having fun. I love Fall Guys.
What's your name?
In the game?
Yeah.
Hefty Goof.
No, your character's name.
Hefty Goof?
You don't pick like a random name?
I don't know. Can you pick random names in this game?
Well, it like automatically generates it for you. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, it's
Seesaw.
not hefty Goof.
Seesaw is definitely my favorite. I love this level. getting to fall off the things is so much fun.
Sports Doc. Sean is here. Sean, I'm eating Pop-Tarts.
Sean, we didn't feel like playing shooter games, and so we're playing this because I was gonna play Rocket League, and I was like, nah, Fall Guys will be more fun, and then we already got past the point to fix it, but it's not cross-platform, so we can't play together. So
I'm gonna keep getting crumbs on my mouse pad.
see, look how much fun we're having. I'm going back and forth on this platform while we wait for this purple one to get to a point where we can actually jump on it. All right, I'm going over here. No! Nope. Oh, okay, fell off. I'm having fun.
Hey, buddy. I'm doing pretty good.
Just Mike.
Just me. I'm
mean,
definitely not also playing Fall Guys.
I could put Mike full screen. Why
Just
won't
taking me stare intently at
purple
this.
thing go back the other way? Come on. If I fall off again...
Oh my gosh, I was just assaulted by a strawberry. Woo! Nope, didn't work.
3 dinners. It's good to see you this morning.
Hey!
We're playing Fall Guys. Smile.
Does Sean not like Fall Guys, or does Sean like
likes
Fall Guys?
Oh, good, Chrissy. I'm happy you're having a great time, because I am having a horrible time already, and we just started. Okay, so then you walk up here, and then you wait for it to pivot. Good. Pivot!
Ah, sucker! Oh, you
And then I just stand up here and wait.
butthole. Yeah!
The patience
Qualified.
required for this game is just mind-numbing.
Yeah, I don't know if you tuned in the last hour, Sean. We had a very great conversation
No, there's a timer
with Theo
now. There's a timer. No!
and Jess. Oh,
Oh, I'm just not supposed to suck. Okay. Pivot!
did you make it?
I did, but apparently they added in Seesaw, it not only was enough to have the stupidness of the level itself, but they decided to add a timer so that if the game is lasting as long as it was, because everyone's making it go like this, there's a timer. I dove with a second left to even qualify, because that needs
You know, there's a timer on all the maps, right?
I don't know. I haven't played this game in 4
Yeah.
months.
Okay.
2 can't do it.
You don't have to yell at me.
I am. I'm yelling at you.
It's ridiculous.
How are you doing? What level did you get?
Hold on, I'm on the second stage. Next up is... It's a mystery. We'll never know.
I love Mystery We'll Never Know. I'm playing Fruit Shoot, which I think is Sean's favorite one.
Chris, you want to pop in?
Chris, you want a Pop-Tart?
Yeah, roll out. Oh, dang it. I hate this one.
Cool.
I kind of hate all of them because I suck at them.
I'm doing Fruit Shoot. But I'm gonna
Fruit
just follow.
Shoot.
I'm gonna follow Chris's advice, which is don't suck. So.
It's better than Poop Shoot.
Is it?
That's the new one. Why am I running? Stop running. Oh no! All right.
Sorry, that was headphones warning.
Yeah, that was a big one.
No. 17 of 18. 17 of 18. I qualified. I was the last one in. I did it. Oh, you have to go in the shower. We used to be toucan brothers, but now I'm a lone toucan.
Stop grabbing me, you butthead.
Buttsicord.
Thank you, Maintaining Mediocrity. I always appreciate when you support me. Yeah, so Pivot was a Friends reference. Pivot! Pivot!
Oh no, I went on the little one. Why would you do that?
I've never watched the entire series of Friends.
I don't know if I've watched an episode of Friends.
I've seen a lot of, like, highlights of episodes. What the hell is this? Egg Siege? Never seen this one.
Oh, nice. That one sucks.
Is this a team, Gabe?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do? Do we grab them and we have to put them somewhere, or we just
Yeah.
collect eggs?
And then
carry
you have
eggs?
to. Well, you have to keep other people from taking yours too. Oh, stay here.
So I have an egg, and then I just drop it in our zone, or?
Yes. Next
Nope.
round.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, there's a zone behind there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay. Well, how about I go over
you're
here?
doing great, Ryan.
Thanks, man. Are you
You're
dead?
doing great. No. I'm on to the third round.
Okay, crushing it right now. Oh my
Next
gosh,
up
I'm not having
is-
fun.
Hypto. Oh, I hate this one. Let's do it.
I feel like I'm doing football drills right now. Okay, I think I'm helping. Hi, Nintendo nerds. We've had a pretty good day of having a combination of tough conversations and trying to also provide a little bit of levity. And we just didn't feel like shooting people, so we decided that we would.
The shooting people didn't seem
fun today. So.
Oh no.
Okay, well I got 15. I'm so confused. How do you score points in this game?
You have to. It's like an end thing.
But this guy's taking my golden egg. Okay.
Yes. Next round. Get some. Well, you want to get the golden egg back from him.
Well, yeah, but he ran away, and that's a lot of work. So I just grabbed another. egg.
Right now, you see how you have 10. You want to make sure you have more than one of the other
Oh,
teams.
This guy. Okay, we have our egg now, and I'm just holding this yellow guy.
Oh, get that. Yeah. Maybe you help defend against that
We won.
silly yellow guy. Man, your team is. Oh, you almost didn't make it. Fruit shoot.
Fruit shoot, yeah.
Oop shoot.
Well, this is what we're doing, chat. We're gonna talk about St. Patrick's Day at the very end of the show.
We talked about it a little bit before.
I know, but we'll talk about it again. Do we have another clip of the day? I don't even know if I clipped anything today.
Clip of the day. What is this? Get off me, you fudge head. I almost said a bad word.
Hefty.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, I got hit in the head with an egg.
I'm
That's
happy,
messed up.
Audrey, that you're having fun watching me be awful at this game. Wait, is this the final? Am I in the final?
I don't know.
Okay, so you just run it.
I'm trying to get to the final.
Oh no! This
oh
is,
no!
Oh,
I'm
so
out.
they made the game harder. So just going on the path was too easy. So now we need to have the little thingy.
Bad news. I was eliminated. Oh.
I thought I had the path.
Oh man. If not for that stupid princess holding me.
I would have
Holding
gotten
me
away
back.
with it if it wasn't for you.
Oh yeah, this
Kids
is the
and
tough
miserable
version of this.
dog.
It's not the finale.
This is not the finale.
No.
All right, who's gonna take the plunge? It's not
Do
gonna
it. Oh
Alright,
god.
Fine. What do I got?
Oh, they're pushing you across there.
This is it. No!
This is exciting. Hey! Oh! Oh no! You were there. You had it. Oh, and he's gone.
I guess I probably had more time. No, I didn't rage quit. I dropped my controller. I still have time. I shouldn't have given up. I was so mad though. Watch, now I'm gonna go.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, and there he goes.
I went straight to the close application window. I don't like this game. I forgot there
man,
was
that
a
was
gap
great.
between the platform. I got so excited because I was like, I know I would have gotten it even if I tried again. I might have had a chance. Aren't you glad you played a relaxing game like this? Oh my gosh, I don't like that game. 8:49 West Coast.
You don't have Steam, do you?
I do. I'm not gonna play any games on the computer because the.
Oh no. When you're free time, hold on, what is it called?
Oh, you want me to?
There's
play
a game you need to play called Zardy's Maze.
Why? Why do I need to play that game?
Because I want you to play it.
Okay, is this like when you wanted me to play Arizona Sunshine?
No.
All right. Let's go. Let's go talk about the headlines of the day. Okay. Video Games Day. You can experience most of the Super Nintendo World. You just do it from your home, according to someone from Polygon. Xbox Game Passes, 10 more new games. One was actually pretty exciting. What was the game that everyone was excited about?
Star Wars Squadrons.
Yep, so Star Wars Squadrons is on Game Pass
tomorrow.
It's according to Game Informer's Lana Rupert. Xbox not going to work on VR. That's from Matt T.M. Kim of IGN. Out today, Beach Buggy Racing 2, Island Adventure, Adios, and the Rays of the Light, Signs of the Sojourner, Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeon Defenders, Awkward, Awakened, Under Depths of Fear, and our name of the morning was Ez to Eon Robot Reboot thing.
Hashtag GMS, name of the morning.
Oh, man.
This
is just so funny. It's so
I hate Fall Guys. All right. It is St. Patrick's Day. What are you going to do today for St. Patrick's Day? Mike, I know that it's tough on the heels of tougher conversations, but at the same time, what is your go-to thing to do on St. Patrick's Day that you plan to do, hopefully today?
Well, first of all, I'm going to figure out why my camera keeps being weird. I'm going to eat some corned beef and cabbage and some bangers and mash. And then I am going to drink a Guinness. A stout Guinness. And then I'm going to watch Chris M.E. probably in my underwear.
Chris, how does that make you feel?
Chris?
Green beer, St. Patrick's Day. I love.
I'm not a heathen, Gonzo. I just drink Guinness.
I do like I do like watching that game. Kind Words. I didn't see you play it. I did see Chris M.U. play it. So.
Good game.
Remember, when you come back, Makita, we need to know what you're drinking. People celebrate St. Patrick's Day on March 17th, the day traditionally celebrated in Ireland and around the world by wearing green, drinking Guinness, and reflecting on everything Ireland has brought us to this world. It is one of the places I want to visit the most. I really do want to visit Ireland, so it should be a lot of fun. All right.
Axe, it's the principle.
Chat, get ready for your takeaways that were pretty okay. We are going to raid It's Furor.
Great.
And the reason for it is I wanted to raid... Oh, I don't want to do that today. No, I am going to do it. I didn't want to... Nah. Blech. I didn't want to watch Cyberpunk, though.
We not watch Cyberpunk? I don't like Cyberpunk.
All right, let me figure out where we're going to go. I was going to raid It's Furor because usually playing Apex Legends ends.
Hey,
given the topic...
Digital... I know it's been a while. Digital Doc is
Let me finish. Okay. I wanted to raid somebody who is Asian. And so that's also what It's Furor is. But I don't like Cyberpunk, so I don't want to do that either. I don't know. What do you think, chat? I'll leave it
Can you
up.
say the name again?
It's Furor. I don't know. Anyone? And Kiki's the reason for this. So Kiki the other day shouted out, "It's Furor," and I couldn't remember where I found her, but I like her stream when she's playing Apex Legends. Anyway, it's time for the clip of the day. Here it is. It's time for the clip of the day.
Toot toot. Bad news. I was eliminated. Oh.
I thought I had the path.
Oh, man. Not for that stupid princess holding me.
I would have
holding me back.
If it wasn't for you.
Oh, yeah, this is the tough version of this. It's not the finale.
This is not the finale?
No.
Alright, who's going to take the plunge?
Do it! Oh
Alright,
god.
Fine. What do I got?
Oh, they're pushing you across there.
this is it. No!
This is exciting game. Hey! Oh no! You were there. You had it. Oh, and he's gone.
There's your clip of the day. Fun game, chat. All right, I think I agree with Kiki. We're gonna raid It's a Fur sometime. If anyone actually knows how to say her name, that'd be great. Let's go raid Digital Doc. We've never done it before because Digital Doc's usually not on. He's playing Florence, which I've heard good things about. We'll reserve our chance to raid It's Fur
when she's playing Apex.
Yeah, when she's playing Apex. All right. Takeaways that were pretty okay, chat. Let us know what you learned from today's show. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time for what has been termed as the Chaos Show. So,
Chaos.
Mike, what is your takeaway that was pretty okay?
Chaos. Hold on, I wrote it down because I learned. We're not signing an exclusive deal with Peacock.
That's true. Everyone who was wondering, we are one of the best purveyors of Peacock propaganda. Wow, that was a lot of alliteration unintentionally.
Peacock propaganda.
Purveyors of Peacock propaganda, but we are not actually signing an official deal with them. Wallstormer, it is so great to see you. Wallstormer will be streaming tonight. If you enjoyed the the conversation we had in the 7 o'clock hour, focusing on Stop Asian Hate with our friend Theo and friend of the show Jess, Wallstormer is very good at bringing good conversations to the forefront and doing so in a wide spectrum. So can take the most serious of topics on the nose and discuss it, but also then in context of video games. I admire Wallstormer and will continue to try to be a small sliver of someone who's as good at it, because he is amazing. So him and Kim Chica are two of my favorite people on the internet right now. So we're going to rate Digital Dot Games playing Florence. I heard someone said they were going to cry. I think it was Nintendo Nerds. So get your tears ready. Okay. Yeah, it was a good show. If you missed any of our 7 o'clock hour, thank you for participating in it. And you can always watch it on the VOD. My takeaway is that you are all excellent human beings, and I'm glad to know you all. Emo
thanks.
Kid Mark, I missed the music conversation. I was educated today, and I'm good at crosswords. That's a good takeaway.
Did we have a music conversation?
Axe Mind the Gap was my takeaway. That was pretty okay. That was a good line earlier. Real AJ, my takeaway was that despite the funny times and silliness, GMS and the community knows when to knuckle down and talk about serious topics that need to be spoken about as well. Let me throw one more time information about Jessica's Boutique. You can support that way. There were references to other places that you can support both monetarily and with your time as well. My takeaway is that sometimes waking up to pee early is good because I get to watch GMS. My takeaway that's pretty okay is Mike is a tremendously good person. I'm grateful to have met you. Putting
Thanks,
kindness
buddy.
and love in the forefront is good. It's not enough, but it is a good start. And thank you all for hanging out with us. The community gets thrown around a lot, but y'all, just the fact that you stuck around, you were interested in what we talked about. I never intended it to go for a full hour. I'm happy that it did, and you all just stuck around, and that means the world to me. It shows me that you trust us, and we're working to reinforce that trust every day. So thank you. Thank you for giving us your time and your attention. All right. We will see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Go say hi to Digital Dot Games. If you have some sun emojis to bust out, that is always cool, too. Say good morning from GMS. For Mike, I'm Ryan. We'll see you tomorrow for the Chaos Show. Thanks to Theo. Thanks to Jess.